Welcome back to Midnight Grappler Animals, home of Flub Nation. I am Keigen, your host for this week. And today I have with me three crooked, disgusting, awful FBI agents who hate your guts, and they're out to kill us all. Lan, Serg, Salt, all the boys are here. How's it going?
I can't wait for the good cops to take me down.
That's right. That's right.
You know, all it takes to stop a bad FBI agent with a gun is a good cop with a gun.
Not a good FBI agent, that's for sure.
Not a good FBI agent, that's for sure. Yeah.
It turns out they're highly ineffective most of the time. They don't actually do anything. Oh, so we are today wrapping up our Blind with Justice series, our coverage of the original Daredevil.
Thank
happening
God.
in conjunction with Born Again, Daredevil, Disney Plus's hit new TV series Born Again. If you want to hear our coverage of that, that's over at patreon.com/Midnight Grappler Animals. $5 will get you every episode. By the time this is out, there will be the whole season of us talking about that. So head on over there for more Daredevil coverage if you're craving it. I feel like a weight is gone finishing the original series. I don't know. How do you guys feel about being done as of this recording, being done with watching Daredevil?
Are we all done actually?
We've got the one more episode. Well, okay, so I probably liked this season the best out of all of us. But nonetheless,
okay.
Well, you hold on. I am so tired this morning because I had to get through the final episodes last night, and I started at like 9:30. So I was really enjoying the finale, but like constantly falling asleep and like restarting the part where I fell asleep at. I'm very sleepy.
I'm a TV sleeper. TV puts me to sleep when I'm not even tired. It's just,
you're a dad. You're a real dad.
I totally am.
This really is the dad podcast.
I could like
We're just going to
something.
transition to a dad cast.
Yeah, I can like something. I can be enjoying it, and I'll just nod off. And I'm like, why the hell did that happen? I don't even know how long I was asleep for. It's very disorienting. So
I won't deny the dad allegations, but I've also always been built this way.
Yeah.
It's predestination. A genetic disposition towards becoming a dad.
Yeah.
Good swimmers, Saul.
I don't have those.
Oh, congrats.
Okay. All right.
You know what? That's cool too.
There's always adoption.
Yeah.
What?
There's always adoption.
No, what? That's the point. I got a vasectomy. That's what I'm saying.
I'm saying. You still,
why would I adopt if I got a vasectomy?
Well, you didn't want an accident.
Changing your mind? Yeah, what if
I wandered into the hospital? I wanted them to like look at my elbow, and I walked out with a vasectomy.
I asked for a haircut.
You should tell Elon Musk about that.
This is the American healthcare system at play. You go in wanting a elbow repair, and you come out with a vasectomy.
Yeah.
This is RFK's America.
Please, Claudia Scheinbaum, my country yearns for freedom.
I thought this was the dentist.
But no, yeah, falling asleep during the finale, that was real sad. So I'm sorry that was happening to you. Yeah. So season 3 of Daredevil, certainly, my experience with season 3 of Daredevil is that I'm the most correct person ever, and season 2 is really good. And nobody likes season 2. And so everybody says that season 3 is a return to form. And I'm like, nah, it was already there. And so that's still kind of my opinion. Even as I was watching it, it's weird. It's weird. This season's way more consistent than season 2, right? But I don't
know if I'd call it a return to form per se, but I think it lacks a lot, or it doesn't have a lot of the bloat that season 2 had, which isn't to say that this isn't bloated itself. There is still some bloat here, but I think in terms of like the general focus of things. I think it's much more hyper focused on Daredevil as a character.
Yeah, for sure. You're saying something, Serge?
I feel like this season, or last season rather, was like them trying to like get to this season. So I think in a lot of shows I've noticed that they have like a start and end point kind of for some shows, like as far as seasons go. And then they end up having like, well, we're not quite there yet at the end of last season, so we need like a filler season almost. And it feels really weird because it's not like it's terrible, but it's not like it's like it just feels like you're just kind of moving the plot and trying to put people where they need to be.
Well,
so
the thing is,
like
it
the
was
second to last
meant to
season
be
of
a
Justified.
filler. Like it was meant to be a filler between season 1 and Defenders, because the original order was one season of each of the individual characters' shows and then Defenders. But then season 1 of Daredevil was so popular that season 2 needed to happen.
Yeah, but
So
I
like
mean,
that's in the
yeah. But even like in like the meta plot of Daredevil, it felt like they wanted all the characters to be in a specific mindset, and they weren't quite there yet. So it's like, I mean, like I kind of liken Justified to this. I really love Justified, but the second to last season is clearly them trying to move into like a specific storyline. I think there's a few shows where I feel like they definitely do this, and it's always funny because sometimes this is like the season where you get some of like the coolest moments, but overall the season just feels really like disjointed and kind of weak, So yeah, I mean, like so when you get into this one, you're like, okay, all the pieces are where we want them to be, so you almost get more excited for it because of like the missteps, I guess would be the way to say it.
Yeah, I think along with some of that stuff, we haven't really mentioned Defenders. One, Salt didn't watch Defenders because he's God's favorite here. So congratulations, Salt.
Made the right decision. We came to the conclusion that Salt did make the right conclusion on our last Blind with Justice episode.
Yeah, Salt was correct. And so I was also coming into the season on a very low of Defenders. But on top of that, so between Daredevil season 2 and Daredevil season 3, I watched like Defenders. We watched Andor. Go watch that. Go listen to that episode. It's just really long. Go listen to the Andor episode, listeners. Then I kind of started Daredevil, and then I was also watching Twin Peaks. And so it's like watching this season was way more spaced out.
One of these is not like the other.
Very much, yeah. One of these is really good. So this is like a whole thing, like 3 weeks of watching Daredevil season 3, like on and off, versus like season 2 and 1 and Defenders that I watched basically in like a week or two each. So weird.
I need to make a Defenders remark.
Okay.
This season, regardless of how you feel about it, really makes moot any need to watch Defenders.
It really does.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
It's great.
Yeah.
I mean,
especially
even if they built the whole plot around Defenders, you could probably skip it. Like, let's be honest here.
You still could, yeah.
I mean, honestly, I think that's where we jump in.
Does that make season 2 worse in retrospect, though? Because so much of season 2 is building up towards Defenders as well.
I don't know.
So if our conclusion is that you don't really need to watch Defenders, maybe we should just cut down season 2 into like a movie.
Yeah, but I think every season of Daredevil would be better as a movie, actually. I think we talked about this in the first episode, or second episode. I think you could do that with every season of Daredevil, actually. Maybe.
I don't know about this one. I think you could definitely cut it down to maybe 8 episodes. Maybe.
I think you could cut it down to the Batman length movie.
The Batman length. How long was the Batman? 2?
3 hours.
3 hours.
Yeah, it'd be a long movie.
It felt like 5.
Yeah.
Fair.
Yeah, it got really, really slow every time Andy Serkis was on screen for some reason.
Dude, he sucks. He sucks as Alfred so much. He sucks as Alfred so much. I hate it. God, don't. We can't do this. We can't do this.
Yeah.
Anyway. Okay. My thing is, I think, see, again, like we talked about this in season 2. Season 2 is dealing with things that were planted, at least in season 1. Season 3 is weird because it is a reaction to Defenders, right? Like, you don't like, it's kind of cool to watch it, not knowing what really, like, not seeing what happened to Matt just found himself buried under a building and dying and crawling out of the rubble. Like, that's kind of sick. If the season actually did just start that way and it didn't happen from Defenders. But like, season 3 still doesn't like the plot of Defenders matters to season 3, even if you don't watch it, you know? And like, I think the plot of season 2 still matters to season 3 also. Season 3, just like, again, Daredevil's a weird show where it's completely new people entering every season. So like, it's made by new people every time.
I do like how, you know, I agree with what you're saying. Even if you don't watch Defenders, the plot of it matters. I'm kind of a sucker for a depowered hero story, and I really like how the first third of this season, Matt has like 3 hit points.
Yeah.
I mean, even after he recovers, he's not like fully back up to health too. Like, it's like taking away the armor. If we're talking video game terms, it's like taking away all the armor that you gained from, you know, the previous couple of games. It's Metroid. It's Metroid because she loses her power suit every single game, right? This
I was
is
gonna say
Metroid.
Castlevania.
Yeah, Matt's in his Zero suit. His really tight Zero suit really rides up his crack.
I wish they showed his cock and balls.
Yeah.
What else?
Like,
The issue with the season is that his
that
outfit
was
just
really
wasn't
like
tight
passionate
enough.
how you said it too.
Oh, no one else feels that way. Okay, well, whatever.
Oh, just me. Oh, that's cool. That's
Just, yeah, well, fine.
It's a diversity of opinions, you know.
C'est la vie, c'est la vie.
Hey, it's me and Wilson Bethel.
Okay,
Yeah. Okay.
you know he's a shooter, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
I think
as long as it
what I
shoots
liked
straight.
also,
Shooters shoot.
what I also like about this is, I mean, it does feel like a comic book. I mean, how many times have you, like, when you were a kid or whatever, you pick up a comic book and it's like, this references that thing that happened last year, and you're like, I didn't read last year's. I didn't read that issue. I don't know
Yeah,
what the hell that
exactly.
is.
I didn't read that issue from 30 years ago.
Yeah.
Why'd you
I mean,
even
like,
tell
you
me
get
about
that
it?
a lot with comics now too. Like,
I'm not
it's just
going
like-
to.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm not gonna go
Maggie
back to
Grace. Maggie Grace last appeared in Daredevil season 1, episode 1. Believe it, true believers.
They should have little pop-ups. You know,
Yeah,
everybody's
that's
always
the,
talking about
You know, in
don't adapt
2010,
comic book.
you know, in 2010 they did a quote unquote remastered version of the original Power Rangers show with like new effects and whatnot. They should do something like that for Daredevil, where they like make it more comic booky. Like they add a filter to it that makes it look more comic booky, and you have like the little pop-ups.
Get the
Iron Fist
iMovie page turn transition.
Yeah. And then, you know,
They have an AI,
if he mentions Jessica Jones, it's
Sandy.
like Matt and Jessica most recently met in Defenders, which came out last year.
This is disgusting.
Yeah, and give me embarrassing ads for candies and stuff every 10 minutes.
What's an embarrassing ad for candy? Does it make
What is
you
an
feel
embarrassing
weird?
ad for candy, actually? Like,
Are
I'm
they
saying that
embarrassing?
every ad in a comic book always embarrasses me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's fair.
now, there's something more psychological there that we might need to dive into in another episode. But back to Daredevil.
So anyway, this is the therapy season, and no, I'm just kidding. I do think we like talking about Matt especially. He's the anchor of the season. He's very much the focal point, and like I think it's just, you know, we talked about it before, easier to cover like character by character. So like let's start with Matt dragging his mangled corpse out of under a building exploding. I remembered him. I remembered that like he was like real messed up during the first early parts of this season. Like I remember he was injured, but I remembered them having a like dumb explanation for him surviving because of the black sky stuff or whatever, the oil that they were trying to get. And then I was like, I guess I just made that up because like he just survived, which is cool. That's fine. Living kind of like a deadbeat kid in the church basement in his childhood home. Like he had to move back in with his parents.
It's a very Cyril Karn thing to do if you think about it.
It is. It totally is Cyril Karn.
And he's doing literal underground boxing underneath the church. It's such peak dumb guy behavior.
It rules.
It's symbolic.
The boxing fight is really good. Oh, the boxing fight! I loved it. It's so crazy. He's insane, man. He's a crazy person.
Also, Paul Lantham, secretly the GOAT of this entire season, honestly.
Yeah. You
You know, just bringing in a guy to wail on Matt.
Yeah.
And then the funniest thing was when he confronts Lantham, I think it's in episode 10 or 11, and Lantham's playing pool with another guy. And then the other guy is like, wait, I didn't know you were a priest.
Yeah, he's wearing the collar. Like,
Yeah.
he thought this guy was just walking around like that.
Yeah.
Like, no, he got that shit on, bro. You need to act right. No, the boxing scene is great. I love the damn. He hit hard, and Matt like ding ding, let's go again. Just like really craving an ass beating is amazing. Yeah. I also like in that first episode when he does the neti pot. Like, which does everybody know what a neti pot is, or am I just saying nonsense?
Of course. No.
Okay.
This is
okay.
Yeah,
that was crazy.
This isn't like the conspiracy mukbang from yesterday.
Yeah, I didn't listen. I just didn't know those two words were together. I know what both of those words are. I didn't know anybody
Folks
did them
at home,
together.
if you know what a conspiracy mukbang is or a true crime mukbang is,
I didn't know there was any talking with mukbang. I thought it was just the eating. I thought part of it was ASMR. Right, like it was the sound.
No,
of
if
people.
it was ASMR, it would be called mukbang ASMR.
No, but I thought mukbang was like a specific kind of ASMR where it was like we're eating a lot of food. I didn't know there was like mukbang is just eating a lot of food, and then you could attach other things to the mukbang. Didn't know that. Now I do. Anyway,
okay.
Neti Pot was crazy, and I took notes all throughout. Every time he went deaf, I was like, "Bro, just go do the Neti Pot again." like the whole first like half of the season, I literally in my notes constantly, I'm like, Matt, why do you forget the Neti Pot? It fixed your problem. Which
amazing.
It's the holy water, you know. It's not even the neti pot itself. It's the fact that it was imbued with holy water, and that's what's clearing up his sinuses. Also, I love Matt in the first episode. He's just so angry, so vindicative. You know, like he's talking about vindictive.
Okay, I don't
vindicative. I don't know. You tell me where to put my fricatives.
Whoa,
nice.
He's talking about Job in the first episode with Maggie, and he says, "You know what I realized? Job was a pussy." And from that moment onwards, I'm like, okay, I'm in. I'm in. Whatever Matt's got going on this season, I'm in. I'm locked in. It's. I think it does fall apart by the end, but I think for the majority of the season, I think Matt's anger is really well tempered.
Yeah, I think Matt's overall arc, I think it actually really works. I think they let a lot of other characters' arcs really, they let them be weak in order to make Matt stronger. And I'm really thinking of Foggy. I think the Foggy stuff in this season kind of sucks, actually. I think it's really weak. I'm kind of okay that he died now. Oh, spoilers for Born Again. I'm sorry. But I'm fine with it now. Given this.
We'll get to Foggy when we get to Foggy. I've got thoughts on Foggy.
But for Matt, it's like his journey is like this is the self-pity season. Like absolutely, that is the overarching like theme for multiple characters is their self-pity fueling them. Like, and it's specifically said by Maggie in this first episode. She talks about self-pity, and like where that takes Matt. Like the actual narrative of the show, the thrust of this is like I think a few episodes in, right when you start seeing Fisk's ghost, it's like it's really difficult not to see this as a season where Matt's supposed to kill Fisk at the end, like supposed to on a thematic, on a narrative, on a character level. Like that's the reasonable thing to happen here. And like him choosing not to in that last moment, it really goes up to that last moment where. I think he should. And then he like has his very short monologue, and it's like, holy shit! Like his self-pity fuels him, and he's not going to do it, and that's awesome. And it's like really, really worked for me the way that happened. Right. The season's also really good at like having attention and ramping it, and like making me annoyed at something in a way that I think the show is doing on purpose. And then like allowing it to kind of boil over until I go like, oh damn, actually this like was effective at the end. And that way I'm like, this is a TV show show. This is not a long movie, you know, like this is supposed to be watched and like it's not over till the end, you know, it's not super episodic. And I guess maybe that is kind of structured more like a movie, but I also like that. All that there's a lot of different examples of that with, in particular, Matt and Nadim, where I'm just like, okay, like fine.
I read an interview with the showrunner Eric Olson. He talks about how important Matt's Catholicism is to this season, and that made the choice of whether or not to kill Fisk even more. It added even more depth. I mean, you know, there's even the line that's a little bit forced where it's like, oh, Matt can't kill someone because he's Catholic. Mm-hmm. But I do like that it's addressed. One of the funniest quotes though from Olsen is he talks about this being like Matt's journey of becoming a good Catholic again, and how Matt commits one of the ultimate sins in the beginning when he tries to kill himself. And he calls that an attempt at suicide by thug.
Yeah.
Which I really liked.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah, that rules.
Suicide by thug.
Yeah, I mean,
like
so much of it is
you
like.
go in.
I'm sorry. I just want to say, like, it is like Keigen said, it was self-pity, but it's also like him treating himself like a martyr as well, which is in many ways carryover from the first two seasons, but here it feels much more hyper-focused with his anger. Like, there's an anger here that just wasn't there fully in the first two seasons, and I think the relationship to his religion here, I think, is really key to what's going on here. Like his relationship not only to Catholicism, but like the people he associates with that. You know, that being
his
Paul
religion
and
like
Maggie.
his religious community, his all of that, like not just Catholicism generally.
Yeah, and I mean on that note, like both Maggie and Lantum are great side characters for this season. Like the chemistry between him and Maggie is especially very, very good.
God, yeah, no, it's especially watching it, knowing. I mean, I knew the first time I knew like Maggie was in the comics, and so like you know, but especially kind of knowing the way he finds out, the way like it all unfolds. It's so toxic. Oh my God. Oh, she's another awful woman I love. Welcome back to Keigen's awful women corner. She's so, it's like her like affection for him is so young, you know, it's so immature in a lot of ways, like undeveloped. It's not like a mother really. She's a person who has been a surrogate mother to many children, but has never had to fully experience the hardships. It's like a teacher.
She's there. Yeah, exactly. She's a teacher.
Yeah.
You know, she's there for a significant period of these kids' lives, but then after that, they're off in the world, and her role in their lives ends. And so, for Matt to come back, I think it's the first time in her life really that she is encountering this kind of dynamic, right? Someone who has gone out and experienced the world, but is coming back broken. It's a different kind of student in that way.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's also the child she abandoned on top of that.
Well, there's that aspect of it, but
she can't just lean on her vocational mothering, you know, that is just like, it's a whole new thing. And it feels new. It feels like she doesn't really know what's going on. She's trying to lean on the vocational side, but also like, this is your son, and like he needs to find out eventually. It's extremely good. It's like I watched a bunch of their scenes multiple times because I was just like, this is the energy here is insane, really good.
Yeah.
I like this idea of Matt being a martyr and how that's reflected in the costume choice. I mean, Matt really is such a psycho this season. He feels a pathological, faith-based need to feel the pain of being a superhero. Like he could get the armor back, but he wants to feel what it's like to get punched and kicked and stabbed. That's certainly a deconstruction of Daredevil, and it's about as far as I think it can go and still work in a live action premise. And I went back and forth on it, but I think it's pretty fun.
Yeah, I really like he never gets the suit back. I think it's tough because I think we talked about this on Pornography, patreon.com/midnightgrappleranimals. And I think Born Again is better. This one season we've had, obviously we haven't gotten the finale yet. I think it's better than any individual season of Daredevil, though. Or maybe it could be recency bias, but it also just could be that like there's like I prefer court drama stuff over FBI procedural stuff. Like that. That's
well,
just
it's also
me.
far less pro cop than any
It's
season.
so. Oh my god. Anyway.
There is that aspect of it.
But like this as an ending for Daredevil is kind of would be satisfying to me. If we never got that first season of Born Again or that first episode of Born Again of him being back in a suit fighting Bullseye, I could see him never putting the suit. I mean, I can't, right? He's Daredevil. He's going to put it back on. But like if this was the end or he didn't, I don't know. I really like the season. I like the choice that he stayed in the suit.
I have to disagree is that I think that so long as Fisk stays alive, there's no way for this to really feel like an ending. And I think they really knew that going into those final moments of the last episode, especially on a thematic level, it makes sense to keep Fisk alive. But, like just like Matt said in, I think episode 11 or 12, like so long as Fisk is alive, this will continue to happen. It's the cycle of it all. Even when you think about like comics, especially, right? Like if you think about comics and what death means in comics, there is no, it's samsara. It's samsara. There's no way out. He needs to break the cycle. He needs to like truly find nirvana if he wants to. He needs to ascend and become a bodhisattva. But maybe that's the new direction that Daredevil comics should take. Saladin Ahmed, make Matt Buddhist. But yeah, I don't know. I think as long as Fisk stays alive, it just doesn't work for me mentally.
Yeah, as
an ending.
I get that. I think my main thing is just like I really like that he never put a suit on. I like that he used his low-key one, and then I also
it's a vulnerability like that.
Yeah,
they make a point of it that the suit's actually like armor, right?
Yeah. The other half of that though is I'm like, if you're gonna reboot it, you put him in the suit, and I get that. Like that's the clearest like delineation. Yep, things have changed. He's back, kind of thing. But there's a lot of stuff in this season that feels weird to reboot. Also, the way the whole season boils up is like the system doesn't work, and like the ending sort of tries to like pull it back to so the system can kind of work.
There are good actors within the system, and
it does
even the bad
really,
actors we can like wrangle into being good actors.
And it does a really bad job of that. Like it's not convincing at all. That last confrontation with Fisk, especially like Matt is using extra legal ways to keep Fisk in place. Sort of. I mean, like you could see that happening in a court too, where it's like dangling, or obviously not in a literal court, but like through the court system, dangling Vanessa in front of Fisk to make him act right. Like that could potentially happen. But it's still very extra legal. It's very outside of the system. And the show never really like has a meaningful way to fix that, to have that that tension never feels right. And so that stuff too, like Matt, I mean, even the last scene with the main three being like, yeah, we're gonna go open a new law firm. Like I am not sold on that working at all, really. Like Foggy.
Well, that's a really weird ending when the last two episodes proved that Matt was right in the debate with Foggy.
Yes. Right.
And that's the whole problem with like I think the whole ending of Matt not. I mean, again, Matt not killing Fisk is a cool character note, but on a narrative note, it doesn't make sense because you've already
for episode 13 that just says like, oh, so this is just season 1 again, where Matt just ends up being right all along, like no matter what.
Yeah.
You know, Foggy or Karen or whatever, Matt's advice ends up being like the right advice. It's such a trapping of season 1, and it's kind of wild to see it. Not just the fact that it came back, but like the fact that it came back so late into the season, right? Because the majority of the season, Matt is a man on the run. He's being cornered at, you know, any and all opportunities. You know, he's never fully in control, and I think to have him be like the voice of reason at the end as a way or as a means of showing that he's in control again feels cheap to me.
Wait. What are you referring to by calling him the reason, the source of
like
reason?
I mean, because in was it episode 11? I think it was episode 11 where they're talking about their plans.
Yeah.
Where they meet up again, Foggy and Matt and Karen.
And Foggy's like, we have to do this the right way. Blah, 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 blah. I'm a big dork. That
yes.
part. Okay.
Yes. Yeah. And Matt's saying, you know, like the system doesn't work. But then you know, I have a note that says, you know, it's quoting Foggy saying, it's called having faith in the system. And I say, Foggy, no.
Yeah. We had like the same note on that part. Yeah. No. So
Foggy is proven not only wrong by this season finale, but he is proven even more wrong by everything that happens in Born Again.
Absolutely slimed. Yeah.
Yeah.
How do we show that this character was wrong? Blow his head smooth off.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh, but I do want to push back a little bit, Lan, on because I don't think Matt looks like the reasonable person in the room.
I mean, he's the most reasonable of a lot of unreasonable people, is what I'll say.
But I also think that like the situation's insane and you have to meet it with insanity. Like Matt is morally wrong, right? That's arguable.
Well, I mean,
but like
killing someone, is maybe
it's
the
it
goes against the Japanese rule of
ethically
ikido,
he's
you
right.
know, which means to
exactly. live. No, but like he's obviously, and I think this show constantly uses that tension actually as an effective tool. But like he is correct, but I also like. Not just within the narrative is he like saying the wrong thing. It's just at this point, this is where you reasonably go, you know? And I don't know. I think that like actually kind of works for me. It's just the fact that it works out in the end. Again, it only works out on a character level. Every other part of the show, it's like, this looks dumb as hell.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think this also like, I mean, this gets at like the conundrum of comics, I think at some points too, is like, how flawed do you make your main character, and like where does the story truly end, right? Like with comics and TV shows, I think it's really difficult because, you know, even though they knew this was kind of the end, they were still like leaving the door open for more adventures, you know?
Yeah, and I think that's
like,
the frustrating thing about it though.
Yeah. But I mean, like, so that's like the hard part also is like, you know, Matt has to be right, basically, you know, like,
yeah, you
know, like you can't really have, I mean, this has always happened in like comics too. The character has to be like almost proven right, even though, you know, it's never like a moment of like enlightenment or like this, oh my gosh, I've been, you know, what have I done? Because then they would, you know, it would destroy him basically, you know, and I find that like really, it's kind of disappointing, especially in a season that really grapples with like the tension of like Matt's worldview or his desired worldview and like how he is as a person and like the role that he feels or the nature of what his job is requiring him to do as Daredevil. And it's like it's really fascinating because, you know, the logical thing would be to have some sort of like something's got to give, and in the end it's kind of like, well, he kind of gets it all, you know, and like you're kind of just like, well, something should have been lost.
Yeah,
you know?
I do think.
Well, he lost Father Lantum.
That's true.
Yeah, that's the loss.
I also do think, like, again, this is the season of self-pity, and so like it's unfortunate because like Daredevil. I mean, maybe not unfortunate, but like it's against maybe what's against Daredevil type to end up in like what you're saying, Serg, right? Because like typically in a Daredevil story, he does lose somebody by the end. But like this season is kind of about cleansing that self-pity more than anything else, right?
Yeah.
The tension is that Matt thinks he deserves to lose somebody. He deserves to lose all of his friends and family, and he should be on his own. He should be fighting. And like the season gradually, right? Like he meets up with Foggy so he could steal his bar card. He meets up with Karen so he could get her help and manipulate her into doing exactly what she wants to do, which is researching Fisk and trying to take him down, right? Like he slowly, though, reintroduces those people back into his life and slowly loses that self-pity and realizes like the reasons that he does this. And so in that way, I think like it's not the tragedy that is typical to Matt Murdock, but like I don't think that changes the stakes really.
No, I don't think it does. I think it just kind of puts the story in tension with the story they have to give the audience. They're almost required to give the audience, is my point. Because the whole time is set up to be like semi-tragic, and it's not. It can't be. Like it literally, if it ended with him, like him just having saved all his friends but losing all their trust, everyone would be like, man, that was a downer. I'm never gonna watch this shit. And I think that's very difficult. And I'm not saying like we needed a bad ending or a sad ending, but it's like it's again this tension of like comics, right? Like how do you maintain tension? How do you like give a happy ending without too happy of an ending, without too sad of an ending, without taking these characters, you have only so much wiggle room, I think, in some of these storylines, and that's like always an ongoing issue with almost every comic series, every show, every adaptation, unless you're like definitively ending it.
Yeah. And I mean, I think that's one of the weird things about this as a TV show too. We've talked about the ending a little bit where it's like, I mean, this is very similar to the first season ending where I'm just like, what? How's it all wrapped up? How'd you even do that? It doesn't really make sense. And like, that was one of my things I said about season 2 was it ends on a cliffhanger. That's what TV shows are supposed to do, right? Yeah. Your season ends and then you hint at the next thing. Like, and I guess the Bullseye stuff is that, but like everything else is so tidily wrapped up. And season 1 was like that too. Season 1 ended like a movie. Yeah. And it was like, season 1 ended, like very final. They didn't know that more was coming. And it's just weird. Like this, especially season 3 is this weird middle ground where I'm like, you should have definitively ended it, or you should have not wrapped things up as cleanly. Let things be a little more messy. If you thought maybe somebody was going to pick things up again. And it is this weird in-between thing of like, you didn't pick a path. You decided to go with two like weird ideas.
Well, it's not to defend the creative choice because I agree with a lot of what you're saying there, Keigen, but I've mentioned before how Netflix shows are really unlikely to get renewed beyond a third season.
Yeah.
Right.
I suspect that the crew here knew that was a factor, and that influenced the decision of like, well, we got to wrap all this up. And so it is kind of a, to kind of sloppily deploy this term, the medium is the message.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, I think it becomes more apparent in that sense too with all this, right? Because they knew they knew it was winding down, but they also had to leave a left room open because there were rumors for a long time that they might get renewed again, and it was for a while,
Well, there was also that whole movement with the Save Daredevil, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, like, and again, like with the whole acquisition, I think they were unsure what their future was for a bit. So when they wrote it or how they filmed it, it was like, let's leave the window open. I mean, like Charlie Cox had been emphatic in saying, I want to play Daredevil again. I don't mind coming back, and he did. So I mean, like I said, like you're right though about the medium thing because I mean, how even death doesn't stop some of these characters from coming back and everything. So it's like
it's a very comic book thing. Yeah,
it's a very weird thing I think also to engage in sometimes with because as much as like these shows and adaptations want to like feel different than a comic, they end up having some of these same dynamics of like, well, none of these stories can be permanent. There's going to be another Daredevil at some point, and like someone else is going to need to do it. So whether they use ours or use something else, like we'll leave enough.
We're gonna
maybe
remake
something as a
it
treat.
with or without you. It's the Matrix 4 thing.
I mean,
Except
like,
Born Again, is not Matrix 4.
Yeah.
Well, every single season of Daredevil was we make it with you or without you to somebody. So they really just like churn through guys on that production. Also, just as a side thing to all of this, I think Netflix just makes bad television. I think that's just true, and I think we should just reckon with that, and that somehow Disney Plus has started to lap them by realizing that weekly releases are better. Like I think
that
Netflix
and actually renewing shows
TV.
that are done well.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it still has those problems, but I think
for sure.
Yeah.
Not everything can be Yellowstone,
Thankfully.
Unfortunately.
Unfortunately, I don't know.
That's like 50 seasons and 20 spin-offs.
Yeah, I know we're the dad podcast now, but I have my limits.
Oh, I absolutely I would not like to do that. Please, nobody ask us to do that show.
The Republican soap opera. Come on now.
I would still rather watch that than Penguin.
Let's go.
Of course. Yeah. I'm glad that Salt and I at least remain firm on that.
That's a total fair assessment of both shows.
So I think in terms of like anything else I have to say about Matt is that the prison episode's sick. I really like how reckless he is throughout a lot of the season. He's just like
he's a daredevil, you would say?
Yeah, but like way more than in other seasons. Like he's really daredevil.
He's very dirty with it too. Like it's a
like,
level of dirt that it's normal now, especially with Born Again, but like for what this was at the time, just seeing him basically scam Foggy out of his lawyer license was
I love Dirtbag Matt.
Yeah, it's great. We love Dirtbag Matt.
Dirtbag Matt gonna start a podcast.
No, that stuff was real good. Do you guys have any other notes about Matt Murdock? Because I think we could move on to Fisk maybe.
Let's move on to Fisk.
I have only one note about Matt. This is very quick because I did take notes for every single episode. The end of episode 7, Matt invades Nadim's house and confronts him in his basement. And I'm a defender of this show. I think there's a lot of really cool choices, but one of the stupidest moments is at the end of this episode because Matt says to Nadim, "That man in the Daredevil suit is in the FBI." And then Nadim says, "Keep talking." And then they roll to credits like they're about to have this conversation. But based on Matt's knowledge, that's all Matt knows. Yeah. So the next line would have been, that's all I got.
That's why they had to cut off that way. That's why it had happened. Oh, that's really funny. That's really good.
That's it for me. We can move on to Fisk.
No, I love that. That's hilarious. That scene is wild also. Like, whatever. I broke a beer bottle. I can't. Like, what? Anyway, on to Fisk. Okay. I said this in, I think I've said this in every episode, including Defenders. Whoever's writing these shows doesn't know how to come up with a complicated conspiracy at all. I think my main thing about the Fisk stuff is that it is so paper thin. And like the prison episode in particular, Matt goes in and he's like, "Wait, what?" And it's like, Matt, please. Like, you're looking for evidence. You have to know that this is what happened at this point. You have to know that it was a faked assassination for him to get moved. And like, Karen's already figuring out that he owns the hotel at that point in the show too. Like, Matt, you're behind. You're behind, bro.
It's the best, and by best I mean the worst of season 2 at play here. Yeah.
And like the whole FBI plot, I really didn't work for me for like the whole first half of the show. And I think I realized in the middle, like I was watching Born Again and I was like, the lawyer stuff with Matt, I guess that's another Matt note. Like zero lawyering is weird in season 3. It's a little bit like how season 2 had zero Catholicism for Matt. And
to be fair though, he was presumed dead for quite some time.
But not legally dead. Not legally dead in season 3, which is weird. Because Nadim goes into when he goes into his house, he's like, why are you paying the bills for your buddy? And Karen's just like, well, he's gone. And he's like, well, he's just gone. Why can't he pay his own bills? So he's not like legally dead.
Yeah, that's true.
So anyway, it's fine. I don't know. We get some lawyering at the end of the season. But again, I said earlier, like, I don't care for the FBI procedural stuff. And that's a lot of the first half of this season is a lot of FBI procedural stuff, even if it's kind of turned on its head, right? Nadeem talking to Karen is, he's obviously the villain in that scene. But like Fisk's plotline is so mired in that stuff for so long that it was kind of a drag for a lot of the first part of the season for me.
Yeah. Fisk stuff is interesting because it is a continuation of everything that was happening with his brief moment in season 2. And I think in terms of, it's weird. It's on a general scale, it is Born Again, with him, ruining Matt's life on every level. But also, I don't think it commits to the Born Again bit as much as it wants to. Like the thing with Born Again is like it really leaves Matt in tatters. Like Matt is really taken to his lowest. Here, he's taken low, but not low enough that he can't get his way out of it. Like he's a cornered dog, but he's not like a battered dog.
Yeah, the context is a little different too. Just because of like Fisk being mayor is very different than him secretly running the FBI. Like those are like two very different contexts, and so like him just being mayor already rattles Matt. But I will say, like, Wilson Fisk somehow got out of prison happening 2 different times is really funny, and also like his last appearance in anything is him getting his ass beat and going to prison. And then his next appearance is in the back of a limo in Hawkeye, which is like really funny. It's pretty dumb.
Wait, do we get any explanation as to how he got out of? Or
I
is
believe
that just...
it's in Hawkeye, and Echo does mention it too.
Is it blip stuff? I feel like it's blip stuff. No.
Okay. It's
thank God.
He got exonerated. I think he says fully exonerated at the beginning of Born Again.
Well, speaking of fully exonerated, part of what has to be talked about with Fisk, especially in relationship to this season, which apparently went on to those other shows, is that Fisk is Trump. And we've joked about that with Born Again, but that starts here. And I was reading remarks by Eric Olson, the showrunner. He makes that really explicit. And it works to the show's benefit and its detriment. Like Keigen saying, like, some of his plans are so simple. Like, yeah, I agree. Like, that does feel a little weak from a writing perspective. But like Fisk doing stuff that's like so dumb that it shouldn't work actually is perfect for Trump.
Yeah.
It's like that classic adage of like, how is he going to get out of this one? Oh, he got out of it.
Yeah. Well, nevertheless, like, yeah. No, I think that's a good point, Salt. But I also think in real life, when Trump does that, we're all like, you wouldn't believe that in a TV show. And it's a little true. Like,
yeah. But I mean, it's weird because it's like, well, we've seen it happen in real life. So what does that really mean for the sake of like reality or like, like realism?
Yeah.
When this is a thing that actually happens in real life, like how much are we actually able to call it unrealistic? Yeah,
Kendra and I have this thing with TV shows. If either one of us is starting to be like, that's a little, the other one is like, it's what happened. It's what happened. Like, look, you watch the show. It is what happened. Yeah. And especially because it's like, if you're writing a TV show, ridiculous things can happen, right? Like, it's fine. That's part of the buy-in of sitting down and watching any kind of art, engaging with any kind of art, is that things happen. I just like it's not even. I kind of like when somebody has the competency level of a character from Veep, but they're able to achieve things from House of Cards. That's fun. Like that's okay.
Yeah.
It really is just like nobody can cook up a real conspiracy for any of these shows, and that's also funny on one level, but it's also like we've done it 4 times now.
Yeah. Also, Fisk kind of like fooling around with the FBI like that is kind of like Whitey Bulger. So there is like a historical precedent for that too. And I mean, like, it is kind of funny how the shows really can't decide how to make, I mean, the comics can't either at this point, but like decide how Wilson fits in like a modern setting. Whereas like, in a comic, you just say he's a crime boss and everyone just kind of runs with it. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of like super fun to think about that.
Just aren't what they used to be.
Yeah.
It used to be that crime bosses would be real men of the earth.
Yeah.
Blue collar kind of guys. And they'd be funding the union.
Yeah.
No,
I mean, like, it's super funny as they try to like modernize him in like, in some ways it just feels like more absurd, and again, like, it is funny that like the only parallel we find is like Donald Trump, like as an actual like figure.
Yeah, it's true. It's like, why is he the blueprint?
Yeah.
Makes sense. I think I don't have a lot to say on Fisk. I don't think I'm like kind of itching to get to Poindexter and Nadim.
That's where a lot of my Fisk notes is on Dax.
Yeah. So, and I think the only other like solely Fisk thing is that like him and our hatred of Vanessa from Born Again is bleeding into here, and it's just like I hate him and her. I hate that that's the thrust of the whole season for him. I think it's fine. I do
have a note about Fisk. Okay. I'm so glad you mentioned Vanessa.
Patreon.com/midnightcrapperanimal.
Dude, okay, there's a crazy scene in this show. I'm so glad I didn't forget this. And this would have gone over my head, but my girlfriend pointed it out to me. So a plot point for Fisk is he wants to get back the rabbit in the snowstorm, right?
Oh, right.
And so he tracks it down, and he goes to this lady's house, and he says like, hey, this was taken from me by the government. And then she says, ironic that a government took the painting away from my family in 1943. The implication here is that her family is Jewish and the Nazis took she's
a Holocaust survivor. Yeah.
She's a Holocaust survivor, right? She talks about like trekking through Poland, right? Well, how even more ironic that Vanessa acquired a stolen Jewish painting. Like, that's the perfect metaphor for how deranged and pirate-like Zionism is.
Oh, that's crazy. That's so good.
What did they know? What did they know?
It's insane, dude.
Now imagine the painting was a Latina.
Oh, wow. We actually managed to work it in. That's crazy.
Oh, no, that's a really good point, though, Salt. That's excellent. Yeah, I really, I took a note when she finally shows up. I was like, is that old ass Zionist already here?
Dude, her and Gal must go to the same acting school. What's your name, Wilson? Like, so bad, man.
Awful.
It's also, my first note was just how poorly she's aged in the past, I don't know how many years. Yeah. Like, I don't know. Maybe that's just me being a woman hater, but she just, I don't know. It's weird because the last time we see her, you don't really see this character turn coming for her, right? Like, the last time we see her is in season 1, and even at that point, she's still just an accessory to everything that Fisk is doing. So to have her come back and then immediately be on full evil mode, and it's like, how do we show that she's on full evil mode? Well, she stole or took, we'll say, a painting from a Holocaust survivor. I don't know if it feels artificial, but it feels definitely pointed, I guess.
I'm gonna defend you from misogyny accusations because hello, Maggie Murdoch. She is so fine, and she's like almost a decade older.
I can't believe Len hasn't called her a gilf at all either.
I mean, she's still at MILF range.
She's just a MILF, yeah. Especially because Matt doesn't have a kid either. So, you know, either way, still, I can't believe you haven't called her a MILF.
Well, I wanted to get to Maggie at some point during this episode.
Oh, as an individual. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. We could talk about her as their own person. That's see, the anti-misogynist Lan right here.
Told you.
But yeah, Fisk Vanessa, stupid. Hate it. Not the motivation for him is fine narratively. Yes,
it's another thing where I'm kind of like, it feels weird to call Born Again the best Daredevil season, but looking back at the
kind of is
Fisk Vanessa stuff in that season compared to this season, like
it
really is just like miles better.
Cuckpin is
Cuckpin is the way to go. Going, the thing is, it's such a perfect progression for what Fisk as a character has been.
Like, and it's actually development for him too.
Yeah.
Right. Like going to prison was development. Like the one prison episode he got in season 2 was actually showing like, okay, look, he can do this anywhere he's at. This whole season, there's nothing happens with him. He's just big bad guy who's gonna punch things.
I preferred Fisk as a voice in Matt's head.
It's so cool.
This season.
Ghost Fisk is amazing.
Oh my God. Yeah. Episode 3, you can take him. Grab his gun.
It's really good.
So good.
Even like D'Onofrio showed up differently for that. He's like, it's really good. Yeah. And like, same thing, Born Again, he's showing up differently for that show. He's giving a different performance. And you can't have Born Again without at least 1 or 2 of the original seasons, just as a basis for the characters. But like, it's kind of better. And again, recency bias. Maybe I'll return to it at some point and be like, actually, this is dog shit. But as of right now, I'm enjoying it more, I think. All right, Nadim or Poindexter?
Let's talk about Poindexter. Let's talk about my glorious king, Benjamin Poindexter.
Oh yeah, let's get into it. He's so crazy. Like
he's so crazy. It's the picture with the woman on her bag on her head.
Yeah, but like if she could shoot you from really far away, like
he's so crazy, and he also fulfills one of my other pathological needs I need to see with superhero media, which is superheroes doing really mundane things.
Mm-hmm.
Like we get the shot of him vacuuming, him driving the car.
Him vacuuming in the suit is such a perfect
weird
scene.
Yeah,
he's covered in blood. He's listening to basically self-help tapes, and he's just vacuuming up his house. I love the quiet moments like that.
Mm-hmm.
Dex is great because he is a villain. Like undeniably, he's a villain.
Straight up, yeah.
But he has
an arc toward villainy still.
Well, it's not even just that. It's the fact that like there's still a pull that you feel that like, oh, is there a way to redeem him? Is there a way to reach out? Like it's the superhero movie thing of like, oh, was he wrong after all? But in this case, it's like it's not a question of whether or not he is wrong. Like he is wrong, but the tragedy of it is that he could have been so much better. He could have been a better person. Yeah. And even now, like there is this idea that he can still be redeemed regardless of everything that he's done, even if that's not true at all.
I like that you say that, Lan, because it really got me thinking, and I can't think of any villains who made me feel that way in a Marvel product since Sam Raimi did the Spider-Man villains.
Yeah, it's very Doc Ock-esque, where it's like they're so far gone, but there's that like glimmer of, there was a good person in here at some point, and that person might still be there somewhere deep within.
I don't know that I agree with that, but what I will say is I've talked about this a few times where like my favorite thematic structure is where you have one pillar and you wrap everything around that pillar, right? So the pillar of every season is Daredevil is going to be Matt and whatever's going on with him. And like by the end of the season, Nadim and Poindexter both kind of wrap around that perfectly, where like Poindexter is a really, really good like shadow version of Daredevil, of Matt,
Well, and he also, in some ways, he's exactly the mirror, because we're talking about the born againisms of this season. It's not just Matt that he's manipulating; it's Dex too, and in a very direct way. The actions that Fisk is taking, right. Like the puppeteering of it all. I think it's a really cool dynamic. This idea that like you're bringing these forces together, or you're engineering things in a way that you're going to put these two unstoppable forces against each other and have them bat heads or butt heads.
Yeah, for sure. And like I really like the structural stuff, like the stuff that Poindexter needs to stay sane, right? How methodical he is in keeping these in place. And like all of the different ways that contrasts with Matt, right? Matt's general chaos across the whole series being like still the thing that makes him be able to be who he is, right? Like the failures of Matt Murdock versus like the perfectionism of Poindexter are like just incredible opposites. And then like things falling apart tend to like make Matt crazy, but he also like succeeds through those, versus Poindexter just like continually getting worse, right? Ending with his back being broken is really cool. Like it's just structurally a really, really two good pieces fitting together that just like make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
In the interviews with Olsen, when he describes Fisk as Trump, he describes also Dex as one of the young men holding a tiki torch in Charlottesville.
Oh, okay.
And that really makes perfect sense with like the role Fisk plays as a father figure, like a really bad father figure, obviously. Yeah. I also just want to add, I think this season has some of my least favorite staging and lighting choices overall, but when they get it right, they're some of the best.
Oh yeah, episode 5.
Yes.
Yeah. That entire sequence, like it's so crazy. Everything else is like whatever, but they locked in so hard for that one sequence, and I don't know why.
It's incredible. So I feel like this season had the lowest budget. There's a few things that indicate that to me, and that feels like something that's born from like, all right, we got a low budget. How do we make the most of this? And like that's where you get really genius decisions sometimes.
Yeah. Also, on the note of like Dex being a tragic figure, I think the craziest thing this season did was with him and Julie, especially like the first time he encounters Julie. It's the whole stalking bit, right? He mentions her at first, calling her his girlfriend, and then they reveal that she's not actually. She's just the focus of his.
He ate with her, That was eating with her. It was just
in
through a
proximity
scope.
of her. We'll say that. But it's this. It's so. It teeters back and forth between, oh, he's actually going to do it, versus, oh, no, never mind. He actually is getting everything that he deserved. Like when he meets Julie in the hotel for the first time, he doesn't really know that Fisk has engineered things to be the way they are, but like he runs with it. But then he immediately fumbles and, gives up his whole game as a stalker, which pushes her away. Which again, another thing that, like, I think that's the annoying thing about this season is so much of it boils down to Fisk engineered it to be this way. And it doesn't really say anything about Fisk. It's just, this is like, it almost feels meta, like everything feels engineered by the TV writers to work out this way. But, later on when it feels like he's actually getting back up, he manages to convince Julie to go out for some coffee, and at first I'm like, oh god, why are you doing this, but then the conversation happens and I start thinking, oh wait, is he actually gonna turn things around? And then immediately after that, Julie gets clipped. But it never it teeters really well on being cringe, but not cringe in like the Reddit way, but like cringe as in like you hate to see this happen, or you literally physically cringe watching it, versus almost wanting to root for him to get better. The idea that he needed a North Star, and she was going to be that North Star. And then Fisk, it's, as I'm saying this, I'm realizing so much of the season, the more I talk about it, the more I get annoyed with all the Fisk stuff.
Yeah, that's how I feel. That's how I go back and forth on something where I'm like, oh, that was kind of cool. And I think about it and I'm like, oh, what did I think about it? Now I don't like it as much.
Yeah.
I do.
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Serg.
No, go ahead.
The coffee date scene is incredible. I think it's one of my favorite scenes in the season. I think it might be my favorite scene in the season. It's just like, it's such a weird decision for him to make. It's such a Hail Mary too.
The goat bleeding too, and it working.
It's so good. Oh my god, the goat bleeding is so funny. Oh man, the whole thing is, and it feels so real too, right? Mm-hmm. Like, he picked Julie to be his North Star because he knew she was a good person, and then he trusts that she's a good enough person to help him out.
Not just help him out, but hear him out, especially.
Well, yeah, I mean, to without the secrecy, to become his North Star. That's the whole thing is really just expertly timed too, right? Throughout the season, we're really it's pretty early in the season that it happens, and it's a little early for him to be fully insane person too, as just the way a season of television works, and just all of it works ridiculously well. I love that scene. It's really, really good. I think the most insane thing I've ever heard any adult say to a kid ever is, you could pitch 1 billion perfect games, it won't bring your parents back.
Oh, yeah, that's so funny.
What the hell? Bro, you're a little league coach. What are you doing?
That's one of those lines that you could chalk it up to dumb comic book writer logic, but I can rock with it because adults say weird stuff to kids.
It's really weird. Yeah. It's just so mean. It's so, psychotic to say to a person.
I have a note about Dex, specifically in when he becomes full Bullseye. This season had less action, but I feel when it commits to action, it's actually more successful and inspired overall than a lot of the action in season 2 and arguably some of season 1. Some really great set pieces throughout this show. They're all really memorable, but on that note of lighting and staging, the other sequence where they went so hard is the church fight.
Mm-hmm.
The whole thing lit up red, and Bullseye showing up and going murderer mode. I had to make a list of everything he threw in that scene. He throws candles, a Bible, debris from a statue, rosary beads, and a collection bowl.
The collection bowl is the funniest one because he frisbees that shit. Yeah. It's not straight in the temple.
And the rosary beads as bullets is so funny.
Yeah. Oh, that's so good. Yeah. There's a few of his. I mean, obviously, every fight he fight. I think every single fight with Matt, he throws something funny at his head, which is just such a good bit. Like the one in the penthouse fight. He hits Matt in the head as he's jumping over the table, and it knocks him all the way down. It's so funny, and I think that's also a bull. I think that one
in that fight when he takes the tines from the chandelier and then uses them as bullets, and then Matt does the same thing, but he uses them as billy clubs.
Yeah,
I thought that was really cool. Yeah.
This show really knows how to use superpowers in a really exciting, fulfilling way that I wish more people would learn from.
I think the season also uses the superpowers element a lot better than season 2 did. Season 2 was very wishy-washy about the way that Matt's powers work, but here it really feels like they've finally figured out what Matt is actually capable of. Yeah. Other Dex things.
I have one big note about Dex that is another thing about him and Matt. Matt has a ton of women in his life who constantly are bending over backwards to support him. Like, he's very babied by the women in his life, for probably because he's blind, to be fair. But like, Poindexter is truly just an incel king. Like, women are repulsed by him, like, including his boss. She does not like him. Julie, like, even, you know, he puts some charm, but like, it's a fight to get her back with him too. And it's just like very, very contrasting between the two, where it's just like Matt has the easiest time ever with like getting women to feel for him, and Poindexter just not having that experience at all.
It's the meme where it's like, oh, so sweet. Hello, human resources.
Yes.
Yeah.
They are that.
Yeah, workplace harassment meme for sure. Actually, on that note,
make that the cover, Lan. I love that with
God,
Daredevil and Bullseye.
Yeah, that could be the cover easily.
Yeah. Workplace stuff, because he also does have a relationship with Ray, and I think that's also done really well. You know, going from him treating Ray as like his one actual friend at the FBI to quickly turning on him and shifting that dynamic. The way that their arc ends, I think, is kind of corny, and we'll get to that with the Ray stuff, but I think it also really works. Like, it's kind of oxymoronic in that sense.
I mean, that's an arc to Dex, and you know, Bethel's performance is so inspired and powerful for so many reasons, but what he really nails is, like, you know, you were talking about, you're almost rooting for this guy, you want him to come out better, but like, he is a narcissist. And that's the moments where, like, oh, this guy's bad. When he's on the part of his arc where he's been reinstated on the FBI and he's like dicking around the office.
It's disgusting.
Oh, yeah.
It's so bad, dude.
The women hate
great
him.
It's great watching this like smarmy smear he's giving to Ray and everybody else. Like, like, this is a way that the therapy didn't help, right? Like, if he has this stable job, it can enable his narcissistic tendencies.
Yeah. Like, he's getting Ray's wife to cook him some eggs, getting him some coffee. Oh, he's such a douchebag at that point.
He's like,
it's so sad.
He's like the neighborhood dad in Jingle All the Way. That scene, cucking Arnie.
That's awesome.
Oh my God.
Oh, that's really good. All right, ready to move on to Nadim?
One more thing I think I want to say.
Go for it.
It's really refreshing to just have someone that you can just straight up like dislike in a show like this sometimes too. Like, because, you know, like Kingpin, you're like kind of like, oh, he's terrible, but, you know, you're kind of supposed to understand.
D'Onofrio, I'm imagining him dancing.
Yeah, exactly. And like, you know, but like with Bullseye, it's just like Dex, he's just like such an asshole and a douchebag. It's like wonderful to like feel like, oh man, I can actually give in to hate. You're a hater.
I feel bad for him more than anything else. He's just so crazy. Like,
yeah, well, and you feel bad for him, but then he's like, when he goes evil, you're like, yeah, okay, I'm glad to be back to hating this guy.
Yeah,
it's almost like a relief.
Yeah, for sure. And it's also the kind of thing where I'm like, it's the Garth Ennis thing. Like, this poor guy, this poor man just needs his meds. Like, please, someone help him. And then it's like, kill him, Dex.
Yeah.
I'm gonna add one more note about Dex in relationship to the showrunner this season, Eric Olson. Wild fact about Olson is that his dad was the former assistant director of the DIA, the Defense Intelligence Agency.
Oh,
yeah, and it really makes me look at this season differently than I would have before. And it actually makes some of the FBI stuff have a lot more depth, frankly. In an interview, he talks about how Fisk engineers Nadim's financial situation, right? And also, like, you know, manipulating Dex as well. And he explicitly compares that to the dark arts of the CIA to undermine someone's mental stability. So, you know, I don't fully understand Olsen's politics, and I don't need to, but the fact that he grew up so intimately with military intelligence, but can be so explicitly critical of it, is why I can give benefit of the doubt to some of this being perhaps deeper than it appears at first. And you know, to tie a bow on all of that, it is why I really love the choice of Dex being an FBI sharpshooter. Like this, like he is a mass shooter, or he would have been a mass shooter, right? But instead he found work with an agency that capitalized on that capability.
Yeah,
that's a pretty good indictment of that type of agency.
Yeah, for sure. And I do like that choice as much as, again, I'm not a fan of the FBI procedural kind of stuff. Dex being an insane person who enjoys killing people and is held straight by his ability to kill people.
Yes.
And like being a very good FBI agent is really, really good. That's really good stuff. Yeah. And I also think like a lot of that stuff dovetails into Nadim really, really well. Because like that's my core tension with Nadim, is that he's really, really stupid through like the first half of the season. He is like
that's what I like about him, though.
Defiantly stupid.
Okay, so I guess we can get into our Ray notes. So I mentioned in the chat that, you know, watching the show or finishing the show really made me want to go back and watch Manhunter, the Michael Mann movie, because in many ways Ray feels like Will Graham to Fisk's Hannibal Lecter.
Yeah,
but in this case, it's like, what if Will Graham was very, very incompetent and far more desperate? Like there's also a racial element to Ray here. You know, even from the very basis of his name, right? Like the fact that he has to Americanize his name from Rahul to Ray. It's the idea that this is a person for whom the American dream has failed completely. He's put into this position, granted we learn it's by Fisk, but you know, the American healthcare system has failed him, put him into copious debt. He's been denied the promotions that he actually does need, and yet in spite of all of that, he's so desperate to want things to succeed, to want this like lie of the American dream to succeed for him, that he's willing to do the damnedest, stupidest things to get what he needs. In that sense, it's also kind of like model minority stuff too. You know, the idea that he's willing to throw people under the bus to lie his way to success. And like, again, people with the same interests or in the same position as him, even, you know, working against them, so that he can actually, it's crabs in a bucket all over again. Which is why I like Ray a lot this season. Like he feels kind of like mythological in that sense, you know, like a very classic failed hero.
Yeah. No, the thing about Ray, for me, that's all excellent. I constantly, the tension that I was talking about earlier is like, in my notes, I was like, I don't care that the FBI is incompetent. Like, maybe that's a good thing. Maybe that's a thing that this show is doing well.
That's the worst thing about this show, is that like, it's not that he is a dumb FBI agent. He's a dumb FBI agent in a sea full of dumb FBI agents. And
yeah. He's not like particularly dumb, and he's not particularly smart or anything like that. But it's also the kind of thing of like, you're making me follow this idiot. And then like by the end of the season, it does
care about this idiot.
Like it turns it around where like by the middle of the season, I was like, God, please, could he just die? Like when does it happen? Because I remembered it happening way earlier in the season, actually, in the scene with his boss, where his boss kills the other person and they frame Nadim and now he has to do everything. I thought he was going to die there. That was when I remembered him dying, was in that scene. And then it was like, you know, after he almost dies, you know, after he's the grand jury stuff. Everything between like probably the basement scene to there, I'm like, okay, cool. But I don't know that it was worth dragging me through 7 episodes of him just being true, like very stupid and incompetent, you know?
I disagree with that. I loved that personally because I agree with every word of Lan's take on Ray, especially the model minority part. Like, a lot of this season is dealing with institutions and like questioning how valuable they truly are, and the fact that he wanted. I see, you know, we talk about Bullseye being this mirror to Matt, but you know, Ray is also kind of a mirror to Matt, but in his lawyer capacity. He's someone who wanted to work for institutions to make the world better by the books, and he got and he is so flawed for that. Like his wife calling him out, like everyone is telling him he messed up, and they're all right. Like he is a dumb guy, but that makes him very human, and I really like seeing that kind of character in such a, you know, wild, stupid superhero thing. Helps ground it for me. I totally get your complaints with it, Keigen.
Yeah, it's also the Will Grimm of it all. Like that obsession with Fisk and wanting to take him down, wanting to be like the guy to really put him in his place. This belief that the system can actually do what it needs to, but you know, in the case of Ray, even, you know, like having to work with Fisk to get what he wants.
Yeah, I like one of my notes I sent in the chat was like, I gotta meditate on Nadim because like I'm not like settled either way. I think the act of watching those first 4 episodes of the season was bad. I did not enjoy any of the FBI stuff for like the first quarter of the season at least. And I don't like, I'm not gonna flip on that. I'm not like.
Yeah,
it's not going to become enjoyable.
I think we're inclined to agree with you on the FBI stuff. Like, it's not that the FBI stuff is good. It's just that these are 2 shining lights within the FBI.
Right.
And that whole mess.
And also, like, I think I attributed it a lot to Nadim because he was the main character of that plot. Right. And so, like, it's that kind of stuff. But to Salt's point, I think one of my favorite lines in the series is Nadim when Matt and Foggy are finally like, you know, we're gonna do this when you talk to you as lawyers. And he says, I love my job. I love being the good guy. And that is, if that's not like the perfect quote for Matt too, right? That is his purpose, is like, I want to be the good guy. But especially with Nadim, it's the sort of thing where it's like, damn, bro. Like the show is very clear that the FBI is evil. I don't think there's like any wishy-washy there at all. I think it takes a very hard stance. At least this version of the FBI are just absolute corrupt, awful, and maybe it's a terrible institution even, right? And that also makes the systemic stuff so frustrating because Nadim is supposed to be this like, okay, the system might be able to work. There's this one good cop. The system might work if Foggy can get the DA to do this, and the DA can get the grand jury to do that, and all of this and that can happen, then the system works, and then it doesn't. And so like Nadim almost becomes this representation of the system not working too, in a good way.
Yeah.
But the show ultimately like totally fumbles on that too.
Right. And that's the issue, is that at the end of the day, it is still the system working, you know, despite the bad actors within it. It really, really betrays Ray's arc, I feel.
Yeah, I totally agree. Yeah, and especially by that point in the series, I had been bought in on Ray too. So even more, it was like, this sucks. Like you figured it out up to this point, and then totally fumbling it like this. And really, it's you can't really tell if it's a thing. I mean, I guess we could talk about the cop stuff. So that should be with Foggy. Like all that stuff is so bizarre in this season where it's clear the thesis is clearly saying that the system's broken and doesn't work.
Okay, speaking of Foggy, I have such a Foggy note.
Oh, can we? So, I guess can we move on to Foggy in that case?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay. This is crazy. So we get these scenes of Foggy and his brother talking at the butcher shop.
The worst
right?
scenes. They're worse than any hand scene ever. I hate them.
Okay, I lost even more respect for these scenes, Keigen, because yes, they're badly written, but those scenes started in season 2, I believe, and I noticed the like neon 4-leaf clover, and then I noticed the big Irish flag. It's like, okay, they're Irish. I get
This
it.
is
Like,
what we
I
were
noticed
asking for. We were asking for Irish racism.
We wanted this. We wanted this.
But it gets worse. It gets worse because I
Careful
saw
what you wish
that.
for.
Yeah.
Monkey's paw.
Leprechaun's paw. But, but I'm watching this and I'm like, this is so stupid. This is so stupid. And then because those scenes drag on so long, what do I notice in the background? The main stage dressing they're using are these like child-sized rucksacks of potatoes.
Oh,
So many bags of potatoes. It's awful.
oh
No,
my
that
God.
Foggy truly gets all of the worst stuff in this season, and it made me feel crazy.
So here's my oxymoron here. I think I liked Foggy in this season more than I liked him in season 2, but I also think that he has the worst arc of any season he's been in.
Yeah, I think I agree with the second part. But we talked about that in that season 2 episode, and I think he's fine in season 2. Between the family stuff, which is it's just like opaquely stupid, like just absolute waste of my time, waste of my attention, waste of the show's narrative space. I hate it.
It feels like a season 1 kind of plot.
His family just comes out of nowhere. Also,
Yeah,
like
it's like, but the thing is, that happens not only for him, but also Karen too. The family stuff coming out of nowhere. But in this case, like, it feels like something that would have happened back when James Wesley was still alive. You know, like that's the kind of stuff that I'd expect there. It's so weird to see it pop up here because there's no James Wesley.
Yeah.
Red Lion or whatever it's called. Like that is that should have ended with Defenders.
yeah.
It's more,
so
it goes back
stupid.
to the Fisk of it all, you know, like the idea that Fisk is manipulating everybody. Everybody's being manipulated by
hate
Fisk. And
hate
it just makes Fisk look worse. It just makes Fisk look worse.
So there's that half that's bad and terrible and a waste of my life, and I hate it. And then the DA part, which like the DA part could be cool.
The DA part started great.
The DA
It
thing
started great.
is like a fun bit too. It's like a fun cutaway bit that you could do a lot of cool things with. But the pro cop bullshit of it is awful.
It happens so quickly too.
It's
like,
and all of that also being tied to Foggy like doing a weird like file overnight reading to discover the Fisk's conspiracy is also stupid again because the conspiracy is paper thin. Like all of that combines to just being like, this is the dumbest. God, the cop stuff is awful. Like the union part is funny, is kind of good, but it snowballs so poorly, and also just dovetails so much with Foggy being the voice of the system of believing in the system, and it's like he comes out looking very stupid. It comes
and
out
at
being
the end of
very
the day,
boring.
it's all for nothing because he doesn't even, you know, see his campaign through to the end. You know, he drops out and endorses Blake Tower, which like it's not just the fact that he dropped out, but it's the fact that he dropped out and endorsed Blake Tower. You know, the whole reason why he even joined the fight in the first place.
He joined as a one position running.
A one issue.
One issue, not voter though, like politician, I guess. Which like you do that to force whatever guy to like flip on it, right? I mean,
right.
You know, and he flipped on it. He did he did go after Fisk, and also required a lot of illegal Daredevil tampering of things.
I would argue that Daredevil did more to flip him
absolutely,
than Foggy's
yes,
stupid ass pro cop campaign.
For sure, yeah. No, the pro cop Foggy, even more. They had to kill him in Born Again. They couldn't have that guy around. He was going to be licking boots. Like they weren't going to be able to snap a dude's leg with a cool flip.
It's okay. Season 2, when the hand brings him back, he'll be firmly anti-cop.
No. He'll be on the cop's side. He'll be even more on the cop's side.
Sees
He
the
will be a
hand.
cop.
The
He has
cop
to beat him
sees
up.
he becomes Black Sky, but for the cops, Blue Sky, Blue Sky. Oh my god! Oh my god!
Evil person. We need counter spells for land. We need to capture him.
Every single Daredevil recording, I always manage to say something incredibly
Yeah, that was
cursed.
bad. That was awful. I hate it.
Okay, but Foggy does start off really well this season. I like.
Oh, I'm
because-
getting ghosted. Only I could get ghosted by a ghost is really funny.
Yeah, and also like the dynamic between him and Karen, because they're still technically in mourning and also denial.
Yeah,
post
Karen
Defenders.
especially. Karen
especially, yeah.
looks like a crazy. Well, I think Karen should be next. She
Yeah.
genuinely looks like an insane person, being like, Matt can be alive, like a homegirl. He was in an underground tunnel, and a building fell on that underground tunnel. A whole building. Like, it's not. It's
okay,
pretty
he
crazy.
got
of
flushed
you.
out. It's okay, he got flushed out. But Foggy trying to hold things together, and then also being the first person to encounter Matt outside of the orphanage, right? I think is done really well. This like betrayal aspect follows from the season 1 stuff and the season 2 stuff with him and Matt's friendship really, really well. But man, they throw that out as soon as the DA stuff happens. Like,
Yeah, Foggy.
it's annoying how quickly my opinion of Foggy soured this season.
Foggy is like, and I'm not even really talking shit because this is kind of how I am. But he's a friend who like you can kind of kick around and he'll just like come back.
Mm-hmm.
And that's like, especially again, like we talked about this in season 2 where I think it didn't do that quite right. He like pushed back against Matt. He was consistently being like, actually, I do disagree with you, and I don't think you're right, and I don't have to put up with that.
Yeah,
and in
but
this
the
season, he's
difference
just
is he
given
had a
up on
great
that.
A plot to work with there. Here,
Yeah.
he's being given the worst B plot to work with.
And he's just given up on doing that. He's like,
Yeah.
we need to win Matt back, even if he's still going to be Daredevil. He's my best friend, and like it's good. It's fine. I like best friend stuff, but it's also like he just really got done dirty across the whole thing, and he's the worst part of the season. He's even the FBI. The FBI, generally removing Poindexter and removing Nadine, maybe I don't know. It floats around like a 4 or 5 out of 10. Foggy's below that. Foggy's like a 3 out of 10. I hate him in this. Dislike. Any other Foggy notes, my friends?
He quite a bit.
Oh yeah.
This season.
Oh, Marcy
I love
just
Marcy.
doesn't exist.
Marcy's great.
She just doesn't exist in Born Again. What happened?
They broke up.
That's crazy. Like
Foggy's
she's a
gotta
whole
play
ass
the
person.
field.
Yeah, I know,
It's because
he's
Foggy is drowning in pussy. He just,
Yeah.
is just
Yeah.
Foggy's
so
a man
many.
that cannot be tied down.
It's true.
Right.
Foggy met Kirsten and was like, you know what? I've seen the light.
Players gotta play.
Shouts.
Players got to play. You know,
Troops got to shoot.
that
It's true.
that
Yeah.
bottle of McAlvany's really changed him.
Okay, moving on to Karen.
Karen, yeah.
On that note.
So like, I think Karen similar to season 2. I mean, the weird thing about Karen here is she was obviously a co-lead of season 2. Like I don't even think that's up for discussion. That's like her role, and she's kind of demoted here. Way less important, but still gets a really like good paired arc with Matt, I think.
I think there's a lot of things that happen in this season that I'm kind of surprised, or not surprised, but I kind of wish happened earlier. Like this season is where she actually really gets to reckon with her having killed Wesley. Right?
Yeah.
Like we don't see any of that in season 2, and I always found that so weird.
Yeah, you're
like
right.
how quickly that gets like thrown to the side.
It's also weird that she has this whole family stuff that doesn't get dealt with Frank.
Yeah.
Not that he would be a good person to tell that she got crossfaded and killed her brother, but like still weird that she didn't deal with that at that time.
Yeah. And granted, it's a different creative team,
Yeah, probably didn't
season
exist
2
is the
creative
answer.
team
Was
probably
it?
didn't give a single crap
It was
about that
referenced like
stuff.
her dark and mysterious past was mentioned every season.
Yeah.
But I doubt they had that figured out.
Yeah, I assume that just boiled down to her being an addict and nothing more.
Yeah, probably. They were leaving the porn and heroin addiction.
That'll be season 3 of Daredevil.
That'll be
Porn Again.
Okay. Born Again, yeah.
Porn Again, yeah.
It's nice it's nice. Yeah, exactly. That makes sense. It's nice that she doesn't have to sell that stuff to Fisk though. She could just join. She just start doing porn.
Oh, the scene where she confronts Fisk and Fisk plays her like a fiddle.
So good.
That I really like.
Well, you know
just
what?
The look on his face when he realizes that he's gotten exactly what he wanted.
Even though her vindictively using that she killed Wesley is also just so good. Oh, it's really good. Like one of the things this season did really, really well is like relating her hatred of Fisk to Matt. Because she like in season 1, she tells him, somebody should just kill him. Somebody should just kill this guy. And Matt like pushes back on that, but them both still being the two that are like, well, he should, is really good. Like it leads to a lot of really good moments. And she ends up being a voice of reason in all those scenes with Foggy, where Foggy's like, "This system will work," and she's like, "Well, maybe the system should kill him."
It even gets to the point where in one of the episodes, Foggy even says, "God damn it, Karen, don't turn into Matt on me."
Yeah, it's really good. And like her, again, I do think waiting to pull the trigger on her dark origin is pretty good because like the self-pity season really, really works for her too. On top of that, like it extends all of her arcs from the first 2 seasons of like everyone around me dies. Yeah, everyone around her dies constantly. Like people are just being murdered around her all the time. Like truly. And it also like doesn't ever give that to Matt. You know, like I can imagine a version of the Bulletin stuff ending with her dying, and it's really not fridging. Like it is her life led to her dying. It's not just
the Ben Urich thing all over again. And actually, on that note, that's what I didn't really like about the Bulletin stuff this season is that stuff was so ripe to revisit the themes from the first season with Ben Urich. But we don't really get that. We just get a couple confrontations between her and Salt's
Nemesis.
Salt's best friend, Nemesis / best friend, his best
Instagram
frenemy.
Nemesis.
Okay, actually, we got to tell that story. Salt's.
Yeah, sorry, that was too good of a segue.
All right. Well, we'll catch the reader, listener, viewer up, and I think Serg probably needs some context. So Karen's boss, what's that shitty, stupid character's name? What's his name?
Ellison.
That loser.
Ellison, who I said in episode 6 he should have died. SMFH.
You were right.
He's outlived his purpose. He's definitely outlived his purpose.
Yeah, he should have died in that scene.
You could say that again. So the actor who plays him, his name is Jeffrey Cantor, and I was looking up all of the cast because I wanted to know what other things they had done, and
I wanted to know their political views.
Yeah, I mean that's fair to say.
I mean, yeah, true.
Yeah, I mean,
that's how we know. That's how we know that Wilson Bethel is a true glorious king.
Yeah,
that's true.
Bethel rocks. We love him, but Cantor is like such a Zionist that he even puts like hashtag Zionist in his bio on Instagram.
That's crazy.
It's crazy. And he does, I'm not exaggerating, he does stories every day of like, oh, just the worst. Like, what's that one guy from The Daily Show who would like go up to Trump supporters and be like, oh, aren't you being hypocritical?
Oh, he still
Jordan
does that.
something?
But yeah, Jordan Klepper, I think.
So he has like a Zionist version of Jordan Klepper he posts.
Oh, no.
Where this guy goes like, do you want to sign a petition to free Palestine?
No.
It's so lame. It's so lame. Anyways, he has all these like self-pitying posts about like, oh, these confused SJWs don't understand. I don't think he says SJW, but he does. He says SJW. And he puts words like genocide and apartheid in quotes. He's the worst. He is the worst. So I said to him, hey, is it exhausting lying to yourself like this all the time? And then he responded to me. He said, I'm impressed that you can stand on your head, but it seems that as a result, your worldview is a bit upside down.
Oh,
now, the context He got me.
Got you good.
It is very funny that zing. He went to my Instagram and was like, all right, this guy does circusy stuff. Like, it's very weird he had to do that. But then I went one further. I said, hey, if believing that aiding and abetting the starvation and annihilation of tens of thousands of children is wrong, I never want to be right side up like you. I was like, I'll play your little game, you know.
But it's a good comeback. It's a good
thank
comeback.
you. This guy is such a scumbag. And I didn't respond because it's like, there's no point. I'm not going to change his mind. But he goes, war is horrible. Hamas shouldn't have started it. Ugh, nasty. Ugh. But you know what? It's like the least I still got something out of it because it's like, you know what? You don't deserve to know peace. So I at least annoyed you today. And you're thinking about me because I'm thinking about you. So I got thinking about you because I'm about to be doing a podcast about you in a couple hours. Saying about you suck. I just know that kind of thing gets under his skin. He seems like he has such small dick energy. He's the worst.
Yeah. And he also is not a conducive presence in this.
No, he's annoying
either.
in this show.
So
he's really one note.
Yeah.
I have a pretty specific. Salt and I did that episode on what was it? The Marcos Martin and BKV book, Private Eye. We talked a lot about. Yeah, it was a good episode. It's a good comic. We talked a lot about how that book treats the media, reporters, and like how smart it is about that, right? The way it treats the news. And this show doesn't, like, I think, again, it fumbles all the systemic stuff right at the end in a really disappointing way. But the way it treats it up through, like the FBI in particular, is really, really good, actually. And the legal system, like all that stuff, the prison system to a degree even. It does a fairly good job, but it totally doesn't figure out how to fit the media into it when it easily could have. And like it's this weird thing where Karen just kind of cruises into work every once in a while, and in previous seasons the media was held as like this important way to fight against the bad guys, and especially with Fisk fully becoming Trump in this season, it's like, and I know this was a little too early for anybody to be able to like see this and say this in a TV show.
I mean, by this point, like by the time this season went into production, it was at least a year into the administration.
But like fake news was a thing that like was.
Hold on, and I have a note for episode 3.
I know.
Someone says Fisk has not been released. That's fake news.
Yes. So and like it's still in a place where this is a weird thing about the journalism in this. It's not heroic, and it's also not like villainous. It's not used at all, and it would have been reasonable at the time. The just
isn't there, and it's so crazy that it's not.
Yeah, it's not either, and it's really weird, and like a missed opportunity, and then it leads to all of those scenes being really boring because it's not important in any way.
Yeah. Like I said before, you know, the room and the opportunity was there for Karen to finally, you know, come full circle and be the Ben Urich of this season. And instead we didn't really get that.
Yeah. And I don't know if they were pulling the punch on, they didn't want to do a heroic journalism arc or anything like that. Or if
there was ever a consideration. Even.
Yeah, I don't know, but it's not there at all. The bones of it are barely there even.
Yeah.
Any other notes on Karen?
Episode 10. The start of episode 10 was...
Yeah. Do tell.
Nah, nothing to say.
How many hands did you need to watch episode 10?
I actually don't have to use any hands when watching TV. Whoa. That's a great thing about TV is that, you know, it's not something that requires hands.
Oh, okay.
You know, it's not an interactive medium in that way.
Right. It's not a video game.
It's not a video game.
Oh, episode 10 was solid, I guess. It was funny. There's a later note, like she orders Ellison's hot dog for him, and I took the note of what did I say? I sent it. Where did I put it?
Oh, you sent it in the chat.
I know. I said, but I don't remember the word. But it's like diner. She's a diner manager. That's why she knows.
Yeah.
That's fine. She's not a simpering employee. Fine, Karen. You can keep being probably my favorite character.
She really is the heart of the show, though.
She's good.
For as diminished as her role is in this season, I think, you can't cut her out.
Yeah. And her,
obviously there's more room for her to do stuff, but it's not to say that I'm necessarily disappointed with what we got.
No, and like the way they're able to leverage her into giving shit to Matt is like really good. It's unmatched by any other character. Her disappointment in Matt, her ability to like talk down at him is nobody else can do it. She fits a really, really good role in that way. Plus, Dex and her is so weird. I seem to remember him having more of a fixation on her, like targeting her more. But he doesn't really. They're just like involved in multiple scenes together, and it's really, really cool and weird.
Right, because the end of it's the end of episode 10 is him hunting her down. And even episode 11 too. 11, oh god, great episode in terms of like locked room, escape room type stuff. But it's weird to think about it in retrospect.
Yeah, exactly. Because like I mentioned that in Hornography, the first Hornography episode of like them having a relationship separate from him and Matt, which is not actually as true as I thought it was. But like homie has tried to kill her multiple times, so like it's quite a bit. All right, I think Maggie. Stuff.
Yeah, so MILF. First note. MILF.
There we go. There we go.
Oh, I think we're done here.
I think we're done. That's it. Some things are better left unsaid.
Thanks for listening, and keep on grappling.
Stay horny.
Stay horny. Stay horny, guys. No, she's great. I think, like I said before, she and Lantum are great foils to Matt early on into the season. I love how she just does not take Matt's shit at all. And even after the reveal happens that, like she is actually his mother, she doesn't give up hope. I think there's a sobering nature to her and her presence in the last few episodes.
Yeah, I think that reveal is super crazy because I don't think it fundamentally changes their relationship. It just makes Matt mad for a little while.
Yeah.
Like they're like, and I mean, it's a really nice thing because Matt gets to realize like my mom did raise me. Like that is what happened.
Because it comes immediately after him saying that like he and Dex were raised, or he and Dex were in the same position, but he managed to escape. He managed to be better because he's different than Dex. But then to realize it wasn't actually the case, that he is actually different than Dex, that he actually did have his mother beside him the whole time.
I will say,
I think that aspect is good.
I will say, imagining all of the adults in the show, I think Maggie's probably second place in terms of person who might say you can pitch 1 billion perfect games, but it won't bring your parents back. I think she is number 2 right after that Little League coach. So maybe they're not so different.
Yeah. For season 2 of Born Again, I'd just like to see her once, please.
Just swing by the church, Matt.
Just swing by the
big basement. Maybe Frank kills her, that could happen. I could see that.
Why would he do that?
I just want.
Why would he do that? Why would you say that?
He's the punisher, not the punish her.
Oh, right.
See, we really have flipped the narrative here. Salt and I have really shifted the lens of misogyny over to Keigen here.
The lover of women.
I've been
all
vindicated.
All you had to do is age her up a little bit, and now Lan is the lover of women.
I mean, it was always there. It was always
Change
there.
the category,
MILFs run the world.
No, Maggie really great, excellent. Also, I already said earlier, I love a horrible woman, and Maggie is included in that. I just think Frank's crazy. He wouldn't kill her though. Anyway, just leads to incredible scenes. I think the Maggie and Matt work together ridiculously good, and similar to a lot of pairings with Charlie Cox. Like I could just watch a whole show of them just interacting. That would be fine with me.
Yeah.
Are there any other characters we need to cover? Oh, Ray's wife.
Shouts.
Shouts.
Another
Ray's
voice
wife.
of reason.
Yeah. Of like all the women in this show, it's in like she has the highest standards for her man, right? Like I mentioned earlier, Matt Murdock gets babied by all the women in his life. Ray is not babied. Nadeem, Mr. Nadeem is not babied. He is held to a very high standard, and for good reason. She did a good job because he's an idiot, and so she really has to keep him in line, and it's very good. There was even a moment in the end where I was like, did she inherit his stupidity? But no, she is literally like one of the smartest characters in the show. It's wonderful. She deserves that shout out. And then I did have one more Karen note, actually. Her paying Matt's rent is insane. Oh my God. A simp woman has been seen. She's been cited and she's in Hell's Kitchen. Holy, like paying his rent for months is very, I don't have a friend who would do that for me. I don't think. And I love all my friends.
Yeah, I mean, I think the thing is, if we heard that you were dead, we'd just assume it.
Yeah,
So,
I
yeah.
think you're a very capable person, but
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I don't believe you could survive under a pile of rubble.
Yeah, you know,
She's
there are
an
some
insane
people I
person for
would.
thinking that. Yeah.
I think
The thing
we
is, like,
wait a respectful
Karen
amount of time
knows.
before replacing you.
Yeah, Karen knows that Matt has superpowers. We don't know what superpowers you have, if any. Now's the chance to tell us. You know, now's the chance for you to give us a reason to believe that you would survive a situation like
I don't think I would
Circle
believe
thing.
I would survive. I don't. If I survived,
Well,
I'd
see,
be
there
like,
we go.
This
no,
is
no,
what
no,
a
no.
superhero would say. This is how he would conceal his identity.
Okay.
A superhero, though. Hero? We'll see.
Look, let's just say
Wow.
Dex saw himself as the hero of his own story.
Ooh,
You guys are kind of being mean.
Keegan being the text of the podcast is crazy.
crazy.
That's crazy.
Quirking up white boy for real.
Oh my god. I guess we can just go through random notes now. I
Yeah,
don't know
yeah.
if there's
If
any other
anybody
characters
has
to...
random fun notes, I'll start. Well, we didn't even really touch on the pretty cool gunfight scene where Matt was bringing Nadine to the courthouse. That's pretty fun. It's kind of nonsense that everybody's just fine with an FBI agent killing people, but like Daredevil can't kill anybody. But whatever. Daredevil, he's running through the bus, and he like puts his hands on the seats and he does a flip kick. And I was like, every kid ever, that's their dream. I've
Yeah.
thought of that a million times.
Hardcore parkour. He hardcore parkoured the hell out of that.
Yeah.
There are so many. There
Go
are
ahead,
so many
Saul.
other insane things in that scene that I love. Narratively, I love how insane it is that Matt can not only guide Nadeem and tell him where to shoot, but he can do it in such a way that he can tell Nadeem how to fire the gun in a non-fatal fashion.
Yeah.
I think one of my favorite, that scene was incredible, actually. We could go for like an hour on it probably, but like there's a part where he points at a spot on the in the van and he's like, shoot right there, and Nadeem shoots like a foot away from there. Like and the camera doesn't cut, so you're just looking at his finger pointing, and then you see the bullet hole go so far away.
Incompetent Will Graham.
It's so funny. And then
This is my design.
Matt dives out of a vehicle through the windshield.
Oh, yeah,
such
that's
a cool
FNAF
stunt.
jump scare.
I rewound that like 8 times. That was one of the
died.
craziest stunts.
There's no way his head would have went through that windshield. But it's,
They did that for real though. That rocked.
yeah, it was very cool. Yeah. It was very cool looking. But I was like, holy shit! How hard is his head?
Yeah. Episode 1 stuff. Oh, bro's so horny for Elektra, he's flopping out of bed. Because he was talking about Elektra for quite a bit in episode 1.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, episode 1 shows us what happened immediately after the identity reveal in season 2, and it's kind of weird because we've already had Matt and
She
Karen
already
stuff
knew.
in Defenders.
Yeah. It's very.
Right.
Hey, you didn't watch Defenders, Soul.
And that's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
I did.
catches
and
you
that's
up
okay
perfectly
part.
if you didn't. Serge, did you watch Defenders?
I saw it when it came out. I watched part of it during this review, but not all of it because I couldn't take it.
I couldn't take it.
I
That's
couldn't
not good.
subject myself to that again.
I had two back-to-back notes that are very important. We send Lan to the Daredevil season 2 where he can Mr. Steal your girl Karen and she'll be happier. That was the first one. And then the second one was, would Lan pay for Matt's rent for Karen?
No. That's some cuck shit. I'm not Wilson Fisk.
You don't have enough love for Karen to pay for Matt's rent.
No, I have my limits.
Good to know.
No
dangers of being a simp coming from you.
Yeah. Fisk be cooking eggs. I did write that. Fisk be cooking eggs.
Fisk do be cooking eggs.
Fisk do be cooking eggs. There's a cut in the first episode where it goes from a gourmet omelet to the prison omelet. Omelet.
It's really good.
That was pretty good.
I have an eggs note.
Is good.
Oh, you have an eggs note. Okay.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
When Vanessa returns, he cooks the omelet, and she says, "Thank you, Wilson. It's my favorite." And it's a plain omelet with chives.
It's her favorite.
It's a pretty good looking omelet, though, I will say.
Yeah, it's the technique. It's all in the technique.
David loves.
In episode 2, in that sequence where he's being ambushed by the Albanians, Fisk yelling like a wild animal trying to escape is really funny. Like, I love when both this and Born Again gives Fisk the opportunity to yell and be like, essentially a big baby.
The roar of the jungle stuff is huge in this season because like Daredevil be roaring like throughout the whole show. Kingpin be roaring, and Kingpin being like, sometimes Poindexter, you have to roar. And then he like roars and hugs him. Is really funny. He's like teaching him to be like them.
Yeah. Matt is confirmed to be 5'10".
So funny. So I lost my mind at that. That was. I was like, why you gotta put him on blast like that? Like he doesn't just go around telling people he's 5'10". I know he doesn't. He's Daredevil.
His friends just know. His friends just know.
Yeah, that's true. All 5'10" of them. You don't have to say it like that, though. Like,
there are a lot of moments in this season that I think hit different now that we have Born Again to look at. Like in episode 13, Fisk says, "I should have never let Dex get close to you." And then I wrote, "Oh, buddy, you don't know the half of it."
Oh no. Yeah,
you don't know the half of it. Let's see what else. Oh, the bulletin fight scene. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know if we talked.
We didn't really talk about it
too much.
It rocked.
Good scene.
It's
good
really
fight.
good. It's really really good.
Because it's also the debut of Dex in the Daredevil suit, and he's got all this noise, and all of it clearing out when Fisk says "the real you," him smiling, throwing the billy club, and then Matt catching it. Excellent sequence.
Really cool.
Perfectly
really cool.
done.
Yeah. I got. It makes sense that Matt thinks God wants him to be Daredevil. God wanted his mom to be a deadbeat.
God gave his mom that postpartum.
Yeah. And then I had so weight check. Fisk was benching 495 when Punisher showed up in the prison in season 2. He's lifting 405 in the scene where he's getting shivved, but he throws it across the room. So like, which I feel like is also a tell that he knew he was going to get killed.
Well, it's actually a rest set. They just caught him when he was doing his rest set.
He was like, lighten the load before you stab me. So I need to be able to throw this at you. Anyway, he chucked 405 pounds from a laying position, which is crazy.
Yeah.
I need to be such a dork about this.
Yeah.
Okay, I love that. It's awesome action, but there's a shot where he's throwing it at the guy, right? Like getting hit midair, that would suck. That would hurt. But there's this shot where the guy's like, he's struggling underneath it. That doesn't make any sense.
No, also, I think it was above his chest. Like... Because it like landed on the
they show it on his neck, which makes no sense.
Just like you could get out of that pretty easily.
Very easily.
You don't have to lift the weight. I know. Yeah. No, the whole thing is cartoonish and fun. Which also like works because it's a lie, but whole thing was something. We also never talked about the final fight scene actually.
Oh yeah, good. I mean, good. It was good. Oh, yeah. I did mention the using the chandelier tines as
you did. That's true.
Yeah, a lot of good set work there. Going back to episode 6, I said Dex in the sweaty bed. I feel that. That's some real he's literally me moments.
In episode 5, Fisk got that ass beating saved to his phone when Matt got beat in the prison. I just kind of like looking at it longingly. It's good.
When Dex confronts Fisk and he says, "Say something," and then the first thing that Fisk says is, "When I was a boy."
Poindexter is the most bitchless man ever. Male loneliness epidemic, for real.
Let's see, a bunch of foggy notes. Oh, we didn't talk about Melvin. So tragic.
Oh yeah, Melvin. Shouts to Melvin. I really like that he didn't make a new suit. I like that Matt was in the little hobo suit the whole time.
Yeah, it's a tragic thing.
My one note about Melvin is in season 1, they don't sound like they know what Betsy is. And I had this idea that like Betsy was a dog.
Yeah, I
So that
agree.
would've been funny.
Absolutely. I think
That
it
would
was
have
like
been
not
so
a
much
person.
better.
Yeah. Definitely not a cop,
Yeah. Well, not even that, but just like for what his brain is like, that would have been better.
Yeah. Yeah, that's really good. I have this note. This is about when the very cool looking Fisk seeing he's playing the tapes, but he's seeing what's happening in the tapes. Right, it goes all black and white, and he does a little sitting squat, and he watches Dex's life. My note was, we had plain voyeurs, now we have therapy voyeur.
And on that note, let's see, there's a really good line in there where Dex, or younger Dex, says, "I want to kill you for dying, for leaving me," and then his therapist responds, "Death always wins, Dex, eventually."
Yeah.
That was really good. In episode 7, Fisk quickly rushing back to his bedroom to put on a t-shirt and get in bed before Ray gets there.
Funny.
Is crazy work.
So funny.
I just visualizing him, quickly taking off his clothes and putting on a t-shirt,
making sure it's the right side up. I wish we got to see all of it. I think Born Again would have the courage to show us cartoonish Fisk.
Yes. I mean, not only that, but also show Fisk ass.
Yeah, that too. Yeah.
Yeah.
People have bailed on Matt his whole life. I'm not going to be one of them. Is a good Matt Murdock gets babied quote.
Mm-hmm. Fisk's telling Ray, your desperation diminishes you, special agent.
Oh,
that was a really good bit. Oh, and then Karen talking to her dad and saying that she messed things up, and then him immediately responding with, "That's what you do, Karen. Good night."
Yeah.
Which
Brutal.
Brutal. Yeah.
She killed his son. I
We didn't really mention Julie much, but I hate the fact that they dispatch her so quickly after the coffee scene.
It's really brutal. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think every fat guy with white beard and red suit was Santa Claus?
Have fun.
Yeah.
That's funny.
That's good. When Ray and Matt break into Dex's house, Ray says, "Shit, I can't call a crew to crack that," and then immediately Matt just starts cracking the safe.
Yeah.
Just no pause whatsoever. Just immediately he goes.
That's
into
also
it.
really funny. They open the door and there's throwing stars in there. It literally floored me. I was laughing for minutes. Dex having throwing stars is really funny. It just is. This one is a more articulated thing on Nadim's wife. Her standards are so much higher than Karen's. This guy pisses his wife off so bad without even having a whole secret life. That's just his job. Like it's really good though. She's a real queen,
Episode 9, when Matt's at the gym and at first it's him talking to Jack Murdoch, but then the transition from Jack to Fisk, and then him beating up Fisk and killing him. Rocks, good stuff. Episode 10, my first note was actually Lil Jon to start the episode. And then, stuff that I won't repeat here. Let's see. I think the thing about the flashback sequence in episode 10, I said maybe I'm just too prestige TV pilled, but I feel like it would have gone harder for this entire flashback section to happen before the opening credits. Because there's a really weird break between the opening scene and then the opening credits for this episode. But that's like me being me again. Also, I like the fact that Fisk saw Wesley as just a son. Like, I can see the father-son relationship thing between Dex and Fisk a lot, but I don't know if I see it between Wesley and Fisk.
Yeah.
Episode 11, my first note is Dex is so mad. He's mauling that entire episode. Brett Mahoney, the one good cop, acting as the voice of reason once again. Again, the propaganda stuff in this season is just
the church scene where like the cops show up to save the day is awful. It's
also
repulsive.
Foggy getting in by being friend to a cop. The cop recognizing him, being like, hey, I put in an advance vote for you. Fisk negotiating Rabbit in a snowstorm away from a Holocaust survivor is crazy work, and then her effectively calling Fisk a Nazi is even crazier.
Nice.
Dex getting into the van to let out that blood-curdling scream. We love to see it. I forget who says it, but someone said, I think it's Mahoney that says it. Yeah, well, they can kiss my police blue ass. Let's see. When Fisk takes the jacket from that one agent, he says, "Give me your jacket."
That's amazing. Yeah,
it's funny. I like from episode, I think 11 onwards, there's a recurring bit with Dex having, like, instead of voices, it's just the buzzing of bees in his head.
Oh, it's messed up. It's messed up sound.
Also, Dex really killed a Holocaust survivor for this painting. Crazy work.
Yeah.
When Dex and Vanessa meet for the first time, one of the things he says is, if you need anything at all, just think of me as the new James Wesley, which hits way different after Born Again.
This is funny. Salt, you were mentioning, you wrote down, I just put the nonsense stuff Dex throws is very funny in the church scene.
It's so cool.
It's really funny. He just picks things up and kills people with them. It's fun.
How did this get here? I had to beat an old lady with a stick. Oh, that's just me joking. Foggy got knocked the fuck out by Ray.
Yeah, he did. He dropped like a sack of potatoes.
Oh no. Vanessa says, it will leave you lonely, Wilson, as lonely as I was in Spain. And then I said, oh, what, you weren't happy being around all the racists?
This was in episode 11, and Fisk conviction overturned, crazy work, totally exonerated. And then I put, it's crazy because genuinely Fisk is a supervillain, and I think Trump is literally worse. And that goes to like what we were saying earlier, like he's a worse person, and that's crazy. Yeah.
Ray's last stand with Dex got that soap opera lighting. And actually, on that note, the last shot of this entire season, and granted, it's the last shot of this entire show, even feels very ABC drama.
Mm-hmm.
The artificial zoom into the artificial bullseye in Dex's eye, it feels like something that I would have seen in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh yeah, I sent this in the chat, and like the beginning of episode 12, Ray still getting yelled at by his wife about the FBI invading their house, shooting them, and it's like, that would have happened anyway, but whatever. And him being in so much trouble for lying, and then it literally cuts to Matt lying to Foggy. Like, it's Matt and Foggy having a conversation, Matt's just lying to his face. It's like, this is crazy. This is like, poor Ray.
Hatley should have died is a note that I have.
Oh, Matt is so mean to Ray before they talk to the DA.
Yes.
He's so mean. You take a loan, you sell your house, you figure it out. You don't allow yourself to become an accessory. You backed his play, Ray. I'm your lawyer, Ray, but I can't do anything to help you if you can't answer this one simple question. Why didn't you blow the whistle? Oh, it's so good. You didn't say a word when he murdered a priest. He's so mean to him.
There's
awesome.
A real nice trilogy of notes that I took near the end of episode 13. Fisk says, I will never stop hunting Karen Page or Foggy Nelson. I will tell the world who you are. And I said, spoilers for Daredevil Born Again. And then Matt says, you will never go after Karen Page or Foggy Nelson or anyone else, or else I'll go after your wife. And then I also said, spoilers for Daredevil Born Again. And then that immediately gets followed up with Spider-Man ass pose on top of that building.
Yeah. Okay, so I took a bunch of notes for the fight because I was just like, this is fun. I watched it like 2 or 3 times. But it's extremely funny how Matt gives his speech, he shouts in Fisk's face, and then he just kind of like collapses and he's laying there, and then like Vanessa goes over to Fisk and they have a tender moment, and Matt is just in like narcissistic runner's high mode on the floor, like just like, I did it. And they're just having a last little moment. It's really funny. It's a funny little thing that happens.
Yeah.
A lot of video gamey moments across the whole season. I put it every time I saw a fight thing, little moment, I was like, that's a video gamey moment. Yeah.
My last note for the show is honestly a crazy note to end the show on. They were really riding on the hubris of this thing getting another season, huh?
Yeah. I put, why was Dix's back fucked up? Like, I mean, he just hit the wall. And even in the fight, I was like, why didn't they just do the Bane? Like, they should have just done Bane. Why did it, like, this whole weird hit him against the wall and let him fall on the ground thing? I get it. A headbutt could kill somebody. I watched Andor, but still.
Well, I mean, on the note of spine injuries, he also got thrown from like the 3rd story of that church.
Yeah, he was already roughed up,
Also, I think in the final fight, Fisk throws him up the stairs through the pane of glass off of that first story.
That rocked.
It's so wild.
Fisk falling down the stairs too is also real.
Yeah, I did. I took a note that said Fisk pulled a Trudeau.
Okay.
This is party trick. Oh, also, Foggy's mom is
that's what we
Penguin's
gotta
mom.
do for season 2. Huh?
Foggy's mom is Penguin's mom. Same actor.
Well, that's even more reason to not watch Penguin.
Yeah. All right. Well, we got all through our nonsense notes. So I think it's time to start wrapping this up. Dear listener, thank you. This is 2 weeks in a row of nearly 3-hour episodes. You're welcome for that. Lot of driving you can do with this in your ear. If you are enjoying, please rate and review us on your podcast platform of choice. Only good ones, please. Talk shit in the narrative. That's fine. That's funny. I'll read them. It'll be great. If you also want to support us in any other way, well, one is Patreon. We've said it a few times. We are doing Daredevil Born Again. Actually, as of recording this right now, we have 1 episode left to record, but it'll be out by the time this episode's out. And it's been really fun. It's absolutely worth your $5. So head over to patreon.com/midnightgrappleranimals. We have recorded episodes about every single episode of Born Again. We're also going to go into Andor. As of when this is released, we should already have an episode of Andor out, I think, season 2.
By the time this hits the
Patreon
public feed, maybe.
Okay.
Actually, wait, let me look at the schedule again.
It will be coming either way.
Yeah.
So that's happening too. So just, you sub for Born Again, and then you keep subbing for Andor. It's gonna be fun. We're gonna have a good time. We went long enough on season 1 that I'm fairly confident we can could yap a lot about it on the rest of the episodes. So patreon.com/midnightgrappleranimals. I also want to start trying to do Q&A stuff. We're talking about how we will or can do that. But in order to do that, we need cues. So you can email us any questions you have. Nonsense, absolute nonsense. Ask about sports, ask about circus life, ask about my podcast setup, whatever, and any kind of question. You can email us that kind of stuff at midnightgrappleranimals@gmail.com. Or you could just kind of ask us on whatever, on Bluesky or in the Discord as well. Also, join the Discord. Go ahead. We will be doing a poll. We will have already done a poll because we're doing Manga May next month. And so we'll be doing polls and stuff through the Discord first to try to figure out what we're doing. And maybe we'll do that in the future too. In order for you to take part in that, go ahead and join the Discord. Other than that, yeah, links to Bluesky pages are all included. So follow us there. And with that, we go into Tastemakers Grab Bag. Who wants to go first?
I'll go first.
There we go.
I've watched a short movie called 7 Jewish Children. It's based on a play, and the conceit is, what do you tell your children about the world around you? Jeffrey Cantor, you should check it out. It's a good movie.
Okay.
Shouts.
Shouts.
That's
Anything
it
else?
from me.
Okay. Thank you, Salt. Who's next?
I guess I'll go.
Yeah, go ahead, Serg.
There you go. All right. So I recently got the Criterion box set of Todd Browning's Sideshow Shockers. It has Freaks, The Unknown, and The Mystic. These are all pre-code Hollywood movies from the, I think, 30s and 40s. They're amazing, but not for the faint of heart. Go watch them. Lon Chaney Sr. In The Unknown plays a serial killer who pretends to be an armless guy to hide the fact that he strangles people. And Freaks Freaks is notorious as a film. It features a lot of actual stage circus quote unquote freaks. And then The Mystics, another remake of one of Todd Browning's films. He's just a genius in cinema. So if you like weird films, it's definitely worth a watch.
Nice.
Yeah, okay.
I think, let's see. I watched a bunch of movies, and I think I'm going to recommend one movie, and that movie is going to be Playtime. Sure, Playtime. Good movie. Always something new to explore every time you watch it. And then, since I've basically run out of recommendations, I'm going to recommend the Brother HL-L2305W or the Brother MFC-L2750DW printers. They're good printers.
That's awesome.
I actually need a new printer, so that's pretty good.
Yeah, they are. If you're looking for printer stuff, if you're looking for printer, it is the printer. It is the printer,
Okay.
I'm very anti inkjet. I hate inkjet. Laser is the way to go for basic commercial uses, basic residential uses. If you're going industrial, just get one of the big ones. But yes, the Brother, whatever I said like a minute ago.
Yeah.
So
all right.
Yeah.
Shouts. For me, I have an experience and I have a book. I have Gris Grobus. I'm finally working my way back through that again. Gris Grobus is so good. Oh my goodness. Next time Simon Roy has a Kickstarter, pick up all of the books. Every single
right
one
now?
is worth it. Has it started? I thought it's just in.
I think it's in pre.
Yeah, so
you can sign up to be notified.
It is coming out soon. I typically don't sign up for that stuff, even though like most of the time I know when a Kickstarter is coming. But when this comes, seriously, buy everything if you haven't already, unless you're in somewhere where the shipping is going to kill you.
Or if you're in a city where Simon Roy visits, you can just wait until you can do what I do, and I just wait until TCAF rolls around and he shows up at TCAF, and I'm like, you know what, I'll buy it now.
Yeah. Absolutely worth it. Even if you just get the PDFs too, if you are space conscious, I get it. Extremely good though. Gris Grobus is so fun, insanely cool structure to that book. Very, very, I enjoyed it a lot. And my other one, this one, like the literal thing is not going to be possible unless you kind of live near me. But I finally went to Hearst Castle, which is like cool. This. Yeah, it's this weird Californian like landmark that this obscenely and disgustingly rich man built a castle on the top of this hill near the beach along the one by San Simeon. And it's an extremely weird building. I like architecture stuff and building and like home planning and stuff like that. A very weird structure to exist. And I finally went there. And it was like the perfect time for me to go. I'm very architect pilled right now for dumb. I'm reading books on my shelf reasons. And it just is like the most American structure I've ever seen. It doesn't make any sense. This man had collections from all kinds of antiquities all over the place. It's ridiculous. And I'm happy I went. And it's the kind of thing where like I feel like every, especially major cities, but like every community has like these weird things. Maybe not on the scale of Hearst Castle, but sort of like that. So Hearst Castle is very cool. If you can look up stuff about it, go for it. If you live near it, visit it. It's fun. And then whatever the Hearst Castle is near you, whatever the version of that is, you know what? Go spend the $40 to go do it because it's worth it. It's very fun. Very cool.
Do you guys know what the Hearst Castle equivalent is near you guys or no? Just out of curiosity.
Like
anybody else?
Lan might have to be taught what Hearst Castle is.
Yeah, sorry. Let me Google.
It's just a rich
right
person.
It's literally
that's like obscenely beautiful.
Disgustingly
Hearst
rich
Castle.
man built a castle
Mansion.
and he like
Yeah.
pieces of pieces of art from all over the world that he acquired. Basically, people would like rich Americans, rich East Coasters would go bankrupt, and he would buy their art from them, and then he would
so it's like
include them as part of the
Casaloma
house.
in Toronto.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you
Okay.
been
There
there?
you go. Yeah.
I've been to Casaloma. Yes.
There you go. Yeah. Salt could go to Hearst Castle. It'd be a bit of a drive. It'd be like a 2.5 hour drive, probably. He could do it.
I've also been to the Palace of Versailles, which is like
Yeah.
probably the predecessor
The-
for all the
Hearst
Yeah.
Castle of Hearst
You know?
Castle. Yeah.
Hearst Castle is. I actually. The funny thing is, I went to the Castle of Versailles before I went to Hearst Castle. So like.
Well,
like-
there you go. You saw the
I-
original.
I've
before
not
you-
been to Versailles yet, actually.
Oh, you should go. It's cool. It's
Yeah.
very. It's
Yeah.
the level of wealth on display, even at Hearst Castle, is like insane that a dude did that. But Versailles is on obviously an entirely different level.
Yes.
But all right, that does it for Tastemakers Grab Bag. That does it for this. That does it for this series of Blind with Justice. So, thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. Thank you for listening to all of these episodes and hanging out with me and my friends. We'll have some more for you in the future. So until next time,
Keep on grappling.
Grappling.
Wow, it's so perfect
Beautiful.
every time.
God,
Are you
it's
guys
like
ready
a
for
symphony.
manga May? I'm ready for manga May. I'm ready.
Oh, we should
Yeah,
come up.
I gotta figure out. I don't have a manga, so I gotta figure out what manga to read. To suggest to.
I gotta figure out what manga is.
I don't think I've
What is this
actually.
manga thing?
I don't think I've actually like read a manga since like I was like a little kid, except for maybe the Gutanab and like a few
Okay.
other ones I have.
You need
Okay.
to read some so that this isn't manga splaining.
Manga May.
no,
Manga splaining May.
for sure.
Manga splaining
For
May.
sure.
Manga splaining May.
All right, do it.
I'm gonna pick
We'll
some
just do
obscenely
it.
long series just to pick
Yeah,
some
you need
that are
to
off.
you need to write a.
But it's one volume.
how many
still.
years
Attack on
was-
Titan was a fun
you need-
anime. How long could it be?
You need to write Daredevil. How many years did Chip Starsky write Daredevil for?
I think like 3 or 4.
Yeah, and then halfway through, you got to start incorporating the ideas that we talk about in the manga that we read into
That's really funny.
that run, and everything else you write from here on out.